Wow, it is the Brock and Salk Show. Good morning, everybody. Hello, here on Seattle Sports, 710, seattlesports.com, Seattle Sports app. Don't forget the podcast platforms and YouTube and 97.3 HD2. That was not the way yesterday was supposed to go. That was not what we were hoping to see. This is not the show I thought we were going to do today, nor the one we want to do today. Today was supposed to be a celebration and a conversation moving forward about the Blue Jays and what it's going to look like on Sunday and getting a little extra rest in order to prepare for it and get your pitching staff in line. Instead, it is a look back at yesterday and what went wrong and a conversation about where you go from here with a Game 5 now tomorrow night in Seattle with Tarek Skubal on the mound to face you, and a choice to be made, obviously, between Luis Castillo and George Kirby, both of whom would be available and on at least a regular rest to start that game. So we'll obviously dig into all of that over the course of the morning. I hate when this happens. I hate when I find myself in a very small minority. It happens more often than you would think. In fact, it happens all the time. But I promise it doesn't happen on purpose. I just see the things the way I see them, and then I'm oftentimes shocked that people see them differently from me. So with this morning, you can imagine my surprise. Now, there's a very small sample size, but you can imagine my surprise when I put up a very quick poll this morning. The Mariners took Bryce Miller out of yesterday's game. A, too early. B, right on time. C, too late. It is my expectation that C should have like 80%. Instead, about 55% of the voters early believe that they did it too early. That Bryce Miller should have remained in the game longer than he did. 36% say essentially right on time, that unfortunately just execution, the bullpen doesn't get it done, and there's some merit to that. I would argue strongly with the 9% of people, just 9%, 1 in 10, not even, who say that it was too late. I would argue that if you believe it was either too early or right on time, you were watching a regular season baseball game, not a postseason game, and that you haven't been watching all of the other games that have been played throughout this postseason and the way baseball is being played today. I would also argue you probably don't have access to a few different numbers. Bryce Miller this year, OPS by time through the lineup. First time through, 682. Tremendous. Unbelievable. Great pitcher. Second time through, 923. He turns from being an unbelievable great pitcher to essentially being a mediocre to bad one the second time through the order, which is where he was starting in the fourth and certainly into the fifth. When he did get to the third time through, it was 880. Second piece of information, his velocity in the first couple of innings, let's say the first three, was at about 97. He was blazing the fastball. His velocity started to dip in the fourth. By the fifth, when he eventually came out, it was down to 94. He'd lost 2-3 ticks on the fastball. I'm not sure I see any reason why he should have still been in the game. The fourth inning, he escapes. I didn't think he pitched very well in the fourth, but he escaped on a smashed ground ball right to Josh Naylor, where he was able to pull that kind of tricky double play, which was great. I mean, that happens in baseball. You get lucky, you get unlucky. That's the game. But the ball was smashed. They were starting to get to him in the fourth, not surprisingly, second time through. So if it was me, I would have probably had George Kirby start that inning. If I was letting Bryce Miller continue, I'd probably have Bizzardo up. And the moment he gives up the first single to the leadoff batter in that inning, another smashed ball. Quick hook. Got to go quick hook. That's the playoffs, man. And by the way, if you think that this is second guessing, please remember, I said this about 100 times yesterday. Hyper aggressive with the bullpen with Bryce Miller. Maybe he goes 2 1/3, 3 1/3, 4 innings. Certainly there was no part of me that wanted him to go 5-6 innings yesterday. Just didn't seem realistic. So I am truly shocked that people wanted him in that game longer than he was in it. By my eyes, Bryce was faltering in the fourth. In the fourth. So to even have him out there in the fifth was a surprise, according to the numbers. But the moment you see 94 miles an hour, the moment you see the numbers that show how rough he is in the second time through, and you were too early. It was too early to go to the lefty. You had a pocket in there for Bizzardo or Kirby or whomever you thought was the right pitcher. I'm not going to sit here and say who's the right. I don't know. They're the ones who know the matchups and who they want in specific pockets. I would never try to criticize that. I mean, I know what I would do, but I'm not going to sit here and say they should have done it the way I would have done it with the pitcher I would have done it with. But I am truly blown away that there wasn't a hyper aggressiveness to get him out of the game. Heck, we talked to Adam Wainwright yesterday, and he kind of said that was what he was expecting.
Well, you definitely do not want to go back. Even though it's your home place, you do not want to go back and face Skubal. You just don't. That's a good question. I would say no. I could see him being hyper aggressive with his bullpen.
That was when I asked if there was any thought to starting Kirby yesterday. And he's like, no, probably wouldn't start him. But yeah, you really don't want to go back. So be hyper aggressive with the bullpen to make sure you don't have to. Either way, if it doesn't work, you got a day off. And if it does work, you've got 3 days off before you got to play in Toronto on Sunday. I'm blown away, honestly. Now, that's not necessarily the reason they lost the game. Players got to play. Been saying this all along. Players get the first 4 innings, and the last 4, the manager gets the one in the middle. That, to me, is postseason baseball right now. And the players won the first 4 innings. They were great, built a 3-0 lead. They certainly lost the last 4 innings as the pitching simply didn't have it and the offense got shut down. So this is not like point at one guy and say, you're the reason why the team lost yesterday. Obviously, the players got to go out and execute. But for me, all of the trouble really starts in the 5th inning. 5:09. Why are you talking about Bryce? He gave up 1 run. The bullpen gave up 8. Because by that point, everything had changed. It wasn't just that he gave up the run. It was the everything that gets set in motion at that point. And just how much it differs from everything else that we've seen in the postseason. Was it similar to game 1? In my mind, yes. In game 2, when the same situation came up, bang, see you later. Castillo comes out, you win the game. Game 3, stuck with Logan. I don't know that I would have done it, but the pitch count was low and Logan was doing what he was doing, and obviously it works. So I'm not going to criticize. It's not the way I would have done it, but it works, obviously. The numbers, I'm just looking at the numbers, guys. It's just the numbers. The numbers show you, and the 2 big ones being the change in OPS second time through. This is not a third time through situation for Miller. He's not that guy. That's George Kirby. This is a guy who this year, with whatever's going on in his elbow, has had a lot of trouble sustaining velocity and sustaining success. It's a reason they wanted him to be in the pen. Now, it's not anybody's fault that Brian Wu isn't available. Obviously, that would have made this whole series a whole lot easier. But I was honestly blown away that he was still in the game to start the 5th. I would have taken him out in the 4th inning. Let me just be clear. I would text him with Lyle, Moore, and Brock yesterday. I get this guy out in the 4th. Okay. He gets through the 4th, but with a smashed ball directly at Naylor. I don't know what the exit velo was on that one, but I would love to see it. And then you see the velocity dip. Really, really hard. Really hard for me. So how do I feel today? Again, still pretty good. I'll take the talent over the course of a series, but we all know, small sample size, anything can happen. That's why you can beat Skubal a couple of times, and it's why nobody knows what's going to happen in a series. Do I feel confident? Yes, I still don't think Detroit is all that good. But you give them more chances, you give them more opportunity. You play, you don't play the book, and I do think that you give them an opportunity to get back in there. It's a bummer, man. That yesterday was such a great opportunity to finish that team off. And unfortunately, now you got to come back home. Now, the positive side of this, how fun is Friday night going to be? That is going to be epic. Crowd's going to be going crazy. Get another great home game with this crowd on a Friday night. Oh, I think that's awesome. I think that's just awesome. That's going to be a ton of fun. A ton of fun. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll give you guys everything you need to know. A lot more conversation today. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com.
Tomorrow, it all comes down to one win-or-go-home showdown at T-Mobile Park.
Listen to the roar of the crowd again. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out.
I would say we believe in each other and we're ready to fight.
It's a win-or-go-home Game 5 against the Tigers at T-Mobile. Tomorrow, first pitch at 5:08. And there's only one place you can hear the American League West champion Mariners in the playoffs. On Seattle Sports. On 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for RLE. That's refractive lens exchange. Now, Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, no contacts, readers, or cataracts. Now, if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top: you never develop a cataract. Now, if you're somebody like me that had a pair of readers in every room of the home, in your car, you had to bring them into the restaurant with you. Otherwise, like me, you couldn't read the menu. That has all been rectified thanks to RLE. So whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to recommend what's best for you. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Have you tried the dining district at the Bellevue Collection? Grab lunch with friends, meet up for happy hour, and stay for dinner and beyond. You can sample international flavors and local favorites from talented chefs. Try a new cocktail on a rooftop bar or watch the game with friends and explore the lively nightlife scene. The dining district at the Bellevue Collection, where your taste adventure begins. Learn more at BellevueCollection.com/dining district.
Out here, days are getting a little cooler, and mornings are starting with a few more layers. It's the season for more time at the grill, more feed for your animals. Heaters burn late into the night, and the woods start calling your name. We appreciate hard-working hands, shared moments, and love for our land. That's why season after season, we're here for your life out here. Tractor Supply.
Tailgate season is on, and Monster Energy flavors are bringing the heat. Crack open the wickedly creamy citrus blast of Orange Dreamsicle, or ride the shockingly smooth wave of Electric Blue. Both packed with real sugar, bold flavor, and that legendary monster kick. This is the energy your game day deserves. So grab your can and unleash the beast.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Your time is money, so why are you wasting it stuck in I-5 gridlock, TSA slowdowns, and SeaTac crowds? Isn't it time to travel smarter? Seaport Airlines offers high-frequency commuter shuttle service from Seattle's Boeing Field to Portland. Park for free next to our terminals. Check in 20 minutes before your departure. Get there faster without the hassles. Seaport Airlines. It's about time. Book today at flyseaportair.com.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
we meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
Ooh, that face. Quantum Fiber Internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Hey, Jamila.
She's thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum Fiber Wi-Fi keeps her meeting game strong. From the back door to the front lawn.
Rushing all of the video calls. Back to back to back video calls.
Quantum Fiber Internet blowing the soxies up all those people in all those boxes. Yay, to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Additional pods may be needed to achieve Wi-Fi coverage in some locations. Limited availability. Service in select locations only.
The playoffs are here, and Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are bringing the heat with a rotation that's built to win. The Gas RAV4, built for every inning of Northwest life. Or go versatile with the hybrid RAV4. The Tacoma, tough, dependable, and always clutch. And now, stepping up, the all-new 2026 Toyota Tundra. Redesigned, powerful, and built for big moments. Whether you're in the north or the south, they've got you covered. Visit ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com and get your championship ride.
O'Brien.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
All right, gut check time now for the Mariners after they blow an early 3-run lead and unfortunately get run out of Detroit in Game 4. Started really well. Canzone an early RBI. Run scored on a double play by Robles. We'll come back and talk more about that. It was disappointing. Another ribby for Cal.
The 2-2. Swinging a line drive into right field, base hit. Arozarena being waved, and he hits third base, and he's rolling home now. Just a walk in the park for Randy. He steps on top of home plate. Cal Raleigh drives in another run for the Mariners today.
It looked like it was going to be perhaps another runaway, up 3-0, and then it all went awry. Bryce Miller starting to falter a little bit in the fourth, but I felt like the wheels came off in the fifth. Tigers score 3 in that inning, 4 more in the sixth. That was more than enough. Problems for Spire, problems for Bizzardo, problems for Vargas. It just felt like it was one after
another. Here's the pitch. Swinging a line drive. Fair ball just inside the line. In left field for a base hit. Dingler rounds third and scores. Jones is into second base. Blink your eyes. It's a 1-run game. Jahmai Jones, a pinch hit. Run-scoring double. And the Mariners' lead is cut into further. It's 3-2 Mariners in the fifth inning.
Yeah, it obviously got worse from there as they fall. Dan Wilson afterwards, look, understands what happened, but also knows his ball club.
Everything's in front of us, and these guys have done this all season long. Where they get in tough situations and they know exactly what to do, and they do fight back and they do bounce back, and I'm not worried about that at all, and no better place to do that than at home. So. I think we just continue to do the things we've been doing and just get back on the right track on Friday.
Well, all right. Well, there will be a Game 5 on Friday. It'll be Friday night. We'll dig into that here as well. Winner take all, and of course, Detroit will have Tarek Skubal on the hill. Mariners trying to beat them for the 4th time this year, 2nd time in the series. Who do the Mariners start? George Kirby? He'll have an extra day of rest. Luis Castillo will be available on regular rest. First pitch going to be just after 5 p.m. Why? Well,
here's the second thing you need to know.
Because
Dale, Yankee lose. Yankee lose. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Hey, let's do it again. Yankees lose.
All right, on a day full of frustration for Mariners fans, doesn't that help make you feel at least a little bit better? It's always fun watching the Yankees lose, and they did yesterday. Whoever wins Friday night's going to go to Toronto for Game 1 of the ALCS on Sunday. The Blue Jays had no problems bouncing back from their Game 3 meltdown. They put away the Yankees yesterday. That was Vlad Guerrero with David Ortiz, and he was a big part of it. He was unbelievable in the series. 9 for 17 with 9 driven in.
Pokes it down the line. It's a fair ball. I'm going to two-strike pitch. Guerrero serves it into the corner. 1-0 Blue Jays. 4 games, 4 times Vlad Jr. has made an impact. His 9th run batted in.
That's pretty crazy. 3 home runs in the series for him as well. Everyone else in the National League staved off elimination at least for a night. Cubs kind of built a lead and then held on for dear life as Milwaukee kept coming, but Cubs win 4-3. Phillies, they just straight up bashed the Dodgers.
Yamamoto with a 2-0 pitch. Swinging a high drive into right field deep. That is way, way back. It is way, way gone. My goodness. He absolutely killed that thing. That might have clipped the side of the pavilion roof out there in right field. Holy cow.
Yeah, that was the first of 2 for Kyle Schwarber as an 8-run barrage sinks the Dodgers last night. So both NL series will continue today.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
All right, meanwhile, Seahawks getting back on the practice field yesterday ahead of a huge trip to Jacksonville. No game against an AFC opponent in October is ever going to be must win, obviously, but it is another chance to differentiate themselves from the other kind of 500-ish teams and go out and beat a quality opponent that's done a very good job of protecting its quarterback.
It's complementary, right? It's similar how we feel like we want to operate on our offense is playing on time. He's making fast decisions. You got to give him a lot of credit for that. The receivers are getting open, and he's throwing the ball on time. He's throwing it accurately, and they're protecting him. So they're doing a good job. They ID stuff really well. They're not in drop-back situations a lot. If they are, sometimes it's on their terms. And in the action game, they complement it well with some of the movements and the screens off it as well. So they're a complementary offense, and they're playing efficiently right now.
Meanwhile, Seahawks still with a lot of injury problems. 10 names on the injury report. Only 2 of those were able to even get on the field. Derek Hall, Ernest Jones, DeMarcus Lawrence, Julian Love, Devin Witherspoon, Reek Woolen, all absent with only Reek as a limited participant. That is 5 key players on the defense. Mike McDonald was asked about Lawrence, Witherspoon, and Woolen.
Yeah, I'd say the timetable is the same from what we said on Monday with D-Law. We'll see how it plays out today. But it's going to go for all 3. It's going to go later in the week in terms of like play status and all that.
Man, so yeah, that's a lot of guys concentrated on a defense. That's 5 big time participants, if not starters. So see what that looks like on Sunday. Kraken open their season up tonight. They will be at home against the Anaheim Ducks. That's everything you need to know. 1:15 here on the Brock and Salk show. I'm not going to try to, I will. I'll try to convince you guys over the course of the morning. It is always funny to find yourself in such a minority. But again, like I do think you got to look at the numbers on yesterday. And I think when you look at the Bryce Miller numbers and you look at the velocity dip, the idea that they should have kept him in longer to me is crazy. And I get it. I mean, you look at it afterwards and the pen gives it up, fine. And I do want to talk through, we'll do it today, some of the reasons for that. And the Mariners are essentially operating with like a 4-man, maybe a 5-man pen. I mean, one of the problems you have, and this is no one's fault necessarily. I mean, unfortunately, Brian Wu gets hurt. Nobody was going to predict that. But, you know, if you're not going to use Emerson Hancock, and you're not going to, like, if he's not a guy that you feel like you can go to in some of those situations, and you're not going to use Luke Jackson, and you really don't want to use Caleb Ferguson, you've essentially limited your bullpen to being so small that, yeah, maybe you can't go to somebody that early in the game. You got to have a little trust in some of those guys. There's so much talk about trusting the players and Bryce and Logan. I get it. But you also got to have trust in some of the other guys.
I mean, at this point, maybe Dan Wilson has more trust in Vargas, but I think a lot of the fans have more trust in Emerson Hancock than Vargas.
Well, and maybe that's just because we haven't seen Hancock in a little while too. But you know, that group, if you can't trust any of them to start the 5th inning, rather, or come in before things get into trouble, or you need the lefties, or to then come in later and pitch in the 7th or 8th, or whatever you might need them, you're selling yourself short. And you're not able to play real October baseball. And I really hope that doesn't end up being the thing that takes down this team. All right, let's, as we said, we got a lot going on this morning. Joel Klatt, I thought, gave us some really tremendous insight yesterday into where Sam Darnold is as he gets ready here for his 6th start as a Seahawk. We'll play you some of that coming up, and then back to a tremendous amount of baseball. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710, SeattleSports.com.
Yesterday marked 30 years since the greatest moment in Mariners franchise history.
Swung on and lined down the left field line for a base hit.
That was a Game 5, just like the one coming up tomorrow at T-Mobile. Don't miss the next great Mariners moment, the one we'll be talking about 30 years from now. Where will you be listening for the next?
And the fans are going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
First pitch tomorrow at 5:08.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here, and I do want to talk about something we should all be looking forward to one day, and that is retirement. The thing about retirement is you can't just decide to do it. You got to start planning for it a long way ahead, sort of like getting the bullpen reliever up a few pitches, a few batters before you're going to need them. You got to prepare. Well, the simple truth is there's a lot more to that planning than just like calculating your expenses and maintaining your lifestyle. It's why you call Trajan Wealth at 206-466-3300. They can help you build a strategy based on realistic options that align with your goals and circumstances and everything that's individual to you. So if you're interested in wealth management that's designed to protect, maintain, and even expand your financial portfolio, Trajan Wealth is perfect for you. They can understand the importance of tactical investments and tailored insights for growth in line with your specific risk tolerance. They are fiduciary advisors, and they understand no two retirement plans are the same, offering guidance on a variety of financial objectives, including ways to earn higher potential returns and tax concerns as well. That's so huge. You don't want to pay more than your fair share. So let Trajan Wealth help you develop a plan that'll meet your financial goals. Call Trajan Wealth today at 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300, or go to TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
At Cressy Door, we have the perfect garage door for you. Come visit our brand new garage door and fireplace showroom and let our experts help you find the perfect garage door. Cressy Door.
Exclusively plumbers for over 100 years. No corny mascots, no out-of-town owners. Just clean, fast, and professional plumbers out to your home fast. All rooter and all trenchless. O'Neill Plumbing.
Hear that? Sounds like simple. Valvoline Instant Oil Change simple. No appointments. About 15 minutes to change your oil. Then out the door and back to life.
Yeah, honey, on my way.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Expert service doesn't need to be overcomplicated.
You ever wake up with a sore throat, feeling a little off, and you know you're getting sick? Well, getting sick and going on the IL isn't an option, especially for me when I'm traveling for work. You can try to see a doctor, well, good luck there, or go sit for hours in an urgent care. Nope. That's why you need a medical emergency kit. This isn't some cheap first aid kit, okay? Your medical emergency kit comes packed with doctor-prescribed meds. It's like having an urgent care and a pharmacy right there in your home. If you're coming down with the flu, bam, here's your Z-Pack. You've got gastrointestinal issues, here's your Bactrim. From Z-Pack to ivermectin, amoxicillin, and doxycycline to treat strep, pneumonia, sinus infections, UTIs, COVID, and more. It's all right there in your kit. Just match your symptoms to the guide or talk with their telehealth doc. No doctor waiting rooms, no pharmacy lines. Order online in minutes and get $50 off with code SPORTS at urgentcarekit.com/sports. Get yours now at urgentcarekit.com/sports, promo code SPORTS.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III!
Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
Got neighbors? Big Trees can help. This is Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. If you've been considering planting trees to add privacy, look no further than Big Trees. Privacy trees fill in empty spaces, help to define property lines, and add curb appeal. Learn more about Big Trees' big supply of privacy trees at bigtreesupply.com.
Hey, it's John Curley with some great news. If your home's heating or cooling is uneven, noisy, or expensive, listen up. The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump System from Home Comfort Alliance is changing the game. It gives you room-by-room control and next-gen efficiency, so you're only heating where you need it. That means real comfort and real savings, and every Quilt system qualifies for max tax credits. Trusted for 50 years. Call the comfort people today at homecomfortalliance.com.
After years of football and the injuries that go with it, my first thought was always go get surgery. Hey, it's Dave Wyman, but after a consultation with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, my eyes were open to an alternative to surgery, and I'm talking about stem cell therapy. Well, and my buddy and co-host Bob Stelton, also in pain, and decided to go see Dr. Wagner.
I had a hip issue from 14 years of jiu-jitsu.
How's the pain now?
Everything I did before, I can do just as well. Hitting the heavy bag, sparring, rolling, all of that is back in play. This whole thing has been such a pleasant surprise because I really was of the mindset, I'm going to have to go under the knife. I'm going to have to get surgery. And this really saved me from that. I could not be happier with the results.
Whether it's a hip like Bob had, a shoulder, a knee, a wrist, an ankle, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine.
Do it. You will not regret it.
Hey, get the facts, hear from all the patients I've talked to, and schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Brock and Salk's Rewind is presented by Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton.
Service. It's what we do.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Let's bring Joel Klatt into the conversation. Hi, Joel. Good morning. Sorry about that. It was a weird night last night. Did you see that guy wearing the Dump It Here 61 shirt catch the 61st home run?
I didn't see it. I saw highlights of it, obviously, but I wasn't watching live. That is pretty awesome, though. I mean, like, especially because it says Dump It Here, right? Like, it's a great nickname, and it's just like, come on, that's incredible.
What's the best nickname you have heard in your life? For everyone that you've played with, worked with, been around, what is because my favorite was always Craig Ironhead Hayward. Not that I was around him, but just always.
That's a good one.
He's one of my favorite players. Do you have a favorite nickname from your time?
I'm bad at this. My recall is not great. It's just all the head injuries, which doesn't shock you, I'm sure, Salk. But I was there for the origin of Hollywood Brown, which so like that's always the one that I love, and it's because it was a mistake to start with, because like the boards were like maybe sloppy, and Marquise Brown makes a catch, and this is before he had like really done anything. It was a game against Kansas State, and it was a nondescript like little out route on third down in like the second quarter, and our former spotter points down, but he points at the city where he's from and not the name, so it was announced just like Hollywood with the catch. And then during the commercial, I was asked like, hey, did I call him Hollywood? And I was like, yeah, like you did. And he kind of goes like this, and he nods, and then he says, Hollywood sounds better. And the next catch he made, he goes, Hollywood. And I was just like, you betcha, man.
I didn't know that. I didn't realize that. That's great.
Yeah. So
does he embrace it?
Oh, yeah. So later in the year, we go into Oklahoma, and by this point, we had called like the Oklahoma State-Oklahoma game where Hollywood and Baker go off, right? And it's just like fireworks. It's the old Big 12. Look at you. You got your Oklahoma State half zip on right now.
Yeah.
Look, it's bedlam. It's just like, pew, 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 pew. Just fireworks. And we went in later that year, and so Gus had called him Hollywood. Where is this? Who is this kid? Where does he come from? All this. It's legendary. And so we go in, and Hollywood beelines it for us in the facility. And he opens up his jacket, and he's got a chain that says Hollywood. And I'm like, yes, this is incredible. So he dove totally in.
That's awesome.
So good. Speaking of Baker Mayfield, we got to see him complete 88% of his passes for 340 yards. We got to watch Sam Darnold complete 82% of his passes for 340-something yards. First time in NFL history, Joel, two quarterbacks playing against each other were that productive. We've talked about Sam with you the last couple weeks. We can throw Baker into this conversation as well. How are they doing this? How at this stage of their career in their late 20s, having this, once again, this kind of production, this kind of, frankly, dominance right now in the league?
I mean, it's shocking. You know, you and I played the position back in the day. I remember when 70% was unheard of. You remember those days? You know, and granted, it's a little bit different now because the advent, and this was really, you know, in the 80s when the 49ers really dove heavily into the West Coast system, and the advent of the short passing game being a complement or in some cases replacing the run game, you know. And so, yeah, there's no doubt that the air yards per completion are down from what it used to be, but it's the level of precision, you know, and the level of detail that goes on to do that. It's hard to do that in 7-on-7. It's hard to do that in routes on air, to be quite frank with you, if you're my ability or lack thereof to do something like that. I think it also speaks to these two guys pouring into their craft, and you can start to play like that when the offense becomes a part of you. Like, for example, guys, none of us think about driving a car, right? It's just a part of us. You stop, you put your blinker on. You're not cognizantly like, okay, I've got to put my blinker on now and do all that. And the level of play that those two guys showed, it's all reaction and it's just oozing out of them. It's just a part of them operating those offenses. And I think that the timing that they played with, it was exquisite. The plays that they made, you've got to have like ridiculous competitive character to just like not be denied. But man, it was fun to watch. I got to tell you, and without a dog in the fight, I'm just sitting there watching this beautiful competition of quarterback play. And unfortunately, for you guys at least, when I'm watching that, I'm thinking to myself, like, I know Baker enough, like he's not going to be denied here. Like when Baker gets a whiff, it's like, okay, this guy's going to find a way to win the football game. And ultimately they did.
Yeah, Baker kind of strikes me as fun Darnold. Like he's just Darnold with like a little bit more personality, a little bit more ability to run around, a little bit more aura, whatever that thing is.
Well, no, don't the kids call it Riz now? Isn't it Riz?
They're past that. Yeah, that's a few years old now. They've already moved past that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, we'll keep you up to date. Don't worry.
So we're just going back to the Rick James aura.
Yeah,
okay.
It's all up to aura now.
All right. That's fine.
But what are we
That's
watching?
only 2 decades old. How would you describe yourself, Salk? I'm not going to get antagonistic. It's not going to be the first episode all over again.
Low aura.
But what would you describe yourself?
Low aura, combative at times, very stubborn. Yeah. Dislikable.
Elite.
Yeah. Very much an elitist, very much a contrarian. Yeah. Yeah. I got a few, but also usually right and really smart. Yeah. I mean, like all those things kind of come together right at the same time. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. You really gave me a good opportunity. This is like therapy session. What do you think we're watching with Darnold? Is this a star turn? Is this like, hey, they've got their guy and he's going to be a quarterback now moving forward?
I hope so for you guys. I think so. It seems like a great fit. And now all of a sudden you're getting more out of the offense than what you've had really over the last, would you call it decade or maybe plus, where there at least is that gear where you can go get into that game and feel like, okay, we've got something that we can lean on. I firmly believe, like, if he continues to play like that, then this is a team that can absolutely or should even maybe win that division in the NFC West. I think that they're good enough to do that. I can't wait to see Eman Wari back and like really healthy because in my brief conversations with Mike McDonald, he's been so excited to get him back, and he feels like he's going to be such a key piece to what they can do from a hybrid perspective. So the key in football now, really at both levels, college and the NFL, and we we've seen it on the offensive side for a number of years. It's like a real key piece are these like hybrid style H-back tight ends that can get you into big personnel groups, but also split out and threaten the defense. And so you can sit in one personnel group and the defense has to pick or choose. Are we going to get big or are we going to get small? You know, and what you're starting to see now is then the inverse of that is now the defense trying to find these hybrid players that allow them to be much more multiple from a defensive schematic standpoint with the same personnel on the field rather than having to match nickel or go dime and then get big and having to substitute all the time. And I think that a guy like Eman Wari is that type of Swiss Army knife hybrid style player that allows the defense to be more multiple. So I know Mike's excited to get him healthy and healthier and more entrenched in the lineup.
Kind of a deep question here, Joel, and you can run with it. You got a little bit of time, and I do want to talk a little more playoff baseball.
Well, I don't want Salk to get upset, Brock. He thinks I talk too much.
Never.
So.
No, not at all. He loves you. You love him.
I'm still blown away by the fact that you play college quarterback, were drafted into Major League Baseball into their draft, and are a +3 handicap. You're a freak.
Yes.
No, you're a legitimate.
So don't work out with him. You saw me work out.
I've heard the story. Did you
right?
play basketball too? Let me guess. You could dunk at like 6'1", no problem.
I could dunk, not obviously anymore.
Yeah,
but I did play basketball all the way through.
Yeah.
My claim to fame was I was a great free throw shooter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're a little point guard, a little Mark Price, right? A little Mark Price point guard, hit the free throws at the end. I got one last guess about your life. You have, I'm willing to bet, incredible balance. Like you're never knocked off your feet. You always, like a cat, you always land on 2 feet.
Well, obviously.
Yep.
You got them all figured out.
Yep,
Salky.
I do.
Good.
I know Joel to a T. I know exactly who we're dealing with now.
So I'm looking
Deep
at
question.
college football the last 5 years in particular, Joel, and I'm looking at so many guys who in their second turn, like Belichick going from Cleveland to New England, right? Different coach. And I'm looking at Bo Nix, and I'm looking at Michael Penix. And this year it's the same thing in college football. Our buddy down, Carson Beck down in Miami, and you go on and on with these guys, and we're seeing it. So I'm trying to understand, like, why? And I think to some degree Sam and Baker, and we're seeing in the NFL that second or maybe even third or fourth stop, right, is the place that it finally clicks. Why are we seeing this so much in today's college football? To take the portal out of it and take the money out of it, just that the guys find themselves and become such difference makers the second or third time around.
It's a great question. I think that there's a lot of different factors. I'll land on two. The first is the individual standpoint. We're all better once we go through things and we know ourselves a lot more. So, learning through reps or even failure, there was no way I was going to succeed to the level, the little level I did playing football at Colorado if I wouldn't have failed at baseball prior. So learning that and growing through that and maturing through that, I think that that's a really vital piece. There's a humbling that takes place. You get to learn lessons and then put that into practice in your next place. And that clean start allows you to have success. And then the other part of this is once you know more about yourself, in particular as a player, you can make a much better, more informed decision about where you're going to go and the fit that you're going to put yourself into. Maybe less so in the NFL, obviously, because it's just about opportunity. But in college football, when you have, the open ability to just choose in the transfer portal and you can sit there and say, what offense is going to fit me the best? What position is going to offer me the most success? So you learn yourself for a couple of years. Maybe it doesn't go well, and then you can put yourself in the best possible situation. I think Dante Moore did that at Oregon. This is his second stop after starting, what was it, Brock, 6 games for UCLA as a true freshman, I want to say. Yep. He's obviously playing really well. We saw that with Penix, and we continue to see that, down the road. Now, there also are, and I don't think it's exclusive to those players, because we are also seeing guys that are really flourishing at their original school, like Ty Simpson and CJ Carr at Notre Dame, and these guys are playing really good football. So I think it has to do with the maturity of the individual, growing through mistakes, and then also the more knowledge you have about yourself and the whole process, you're going to put yourself in a better position to succeed. And all of those things are I think, why it's trending in that direction.
Yeah, I mean, the word that jumps out to me there as you talk through that is fit. Whether it's choosing the right fit or coaches over time realizing what the right fit is for you.
Yeah, like Sam's a great
Sam
fit
Darnold
with Seattle
thing.
right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, like he fits a lot better. And there are certain organizations that are going to allow guys to have more success than others. It's like you can't go to the Browns. It's like Dylan Gabriel right now is just auditioning for the rest of the league. That's all he's doing.
And then Shadour's going to get his time, though, right?
Is he? You can't give that answer and get another chance. Like,
oh, you didn't like the mime?
Yeah.
It really, it is. I want to root for Shador. I really do. Like I do too. There's a huge part of me that wants to root for him, but I can't defend.
Here's the thing: is Salk, he's a good player.
So why is he doing? Is this his dad that's messed with him? Like, why is he like that?
No. I mean, that's beyond a question that I can answer. The problem is like, if this doesn't work out, what team takes what they know about him and they say like, oh yeah, like we definitely want that in our building.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a level of stress that you don't need, and it's not backed up by enough talent and enough guarantee that it's going to succeed on the field to make it worth it, right? It was one thing when Cam would do some crazy things and you're like, yeah, all right, whatever. He's Cam Newton. He's unbelievably talented. Let's see if we can make it work. Shador may be talented, but he's not in that stratosphere. So how can you take a chance on it?
I don't know. I hope it works out for him. Like I said, I've met him several times and chatted with him several times. He's a good kid and a good player, and I root for him, and I root for him hard. You know, when I see things like that, though, it's like, man, I just don't think that's offering him the ability to succeed, because again, it's just putting up more barriers and question marks rather than answers.
Playoff baseball is fill in the blank.
Electric. I love playoff baseball. It's the absolute best. I mean, obviously, that you can't beat a Saturday in the fall. I think the NFL is very corporate. It's hard for me to really get into the NFL until the postseason because it's very corporate. But college football is like so organic and tribal, and that's exactly what then playoff baseball becomes. And I love the element of like every single pitch, there's an insane amount of urgency, and there's so much going on. And I love to see guys like, can they not handle the pressure? Because it's a more individual skill-based sport. It's a little bit like the Ryder Cup in that respect. It's like, well, which individuals can handle this and which individuals can't?
Along those lines, we and it's sort of shifting back to football, but Brock and I have long held these debates about, quarterback wins as a stat and whether or not people believe in it or not. Without necessarily answering that question, how do you feel about the difference between the first 58 or so minutes of a football game, especially in the NFL, and then the final minute or two where quarterback gets the ball with a chance to win the game, he needs a field goal, he's got time, whatever the scenario may be? How do you weigh the importance of those moments versus the first 58, 59 minutes?
I'm not going to disparage the question. It's a good question. Can let me add to it though, because to me, it's not just the timing of what's going on the clock. It's actually like way bigger than that, because it has to do for me with base down versus situational specialty play. And that happens the entire game. Okay, so you can parse out guys, and here's the equivalent of in baseball. Are you hitting meaningless home runs, or are you getting meaningful, important hits?
Yep.
right? So if you're 85% on first and second down and base down between the 40s or between the 30s, I don't really care. Now, that's helpful. I'm not saying it's not helpful. Every hit is helpful. Every completion is helpful. But what are you as a quarterback when you have to throw it? So it's third and obvious. What are you there? When it's backed up, how effective are you getting a couple of first downs? When you're in the red area, how effective are you in tight window throws, creating touchdowns and not just field goals? And then that bleeds into the timing situation. What are you in the last 2 minutes of each half? What are you in the last 2 minutes of the game? Can you operate those systems? Because to me, that's where the great quarterbacks separate themselves versus the guys that are just like, good, but not great. And we constantly talk about this, and it goes into the debate of like, well, is he elite or not? And some people will be like, well, of course he's elite. He threw this many touchdowns and it's this completion percentage, or he's won this amount of games. But it's like, okay, the difference comes in those specialty situations. What do you do when the moment is the brightest? And that situation, I was just adding to the situation. If you don't play well in the last 2 minutes of each half, you're not a very good quarterback, period.
So how do I look at, we only have a minute or two left here, but then it brings me back to Sam Darnold, who's been, as we've talked about, tremendous through the first 5 games with the Seahawks. But in those 3 big moments late in games, he's 1-2 with a pick and a fumble and lost those 2 games really because of those moments. Are they entirely his fault? No. Obviously a guy gets pushed back into him and he's got a helmet that the ball glances off. Like, they're kind of weird plays, but isn't that what you need in order to be that, as you just said, elite guy and not just somebody who's good? And then you start digging into what the future looks like for the position in Seattle.
Yeah. And I would also echo that was similar. If you take the season last year as a game microcosm, like he struggled at the end in the last 2 minutes of the season, if you will, for Minnesota. And that's something that he's got to take the next step. And he's got to become a great player in those moments, because it's not always going to be clean. That's the thing. It's like, you can say, oh, there was someone that was pushed back into his lap. Great. Like that happens all the time. There was someone in Eli Manning's lap when he threw it to David Tyree, like it's just the nature of the beast. And you have to find a way to make the plays necessary to win the football game when you're in a position to do that. That's his next step, to be like a really elite player in the NFL. He's got to take that step in those situations.
So it's situational superiority. It is what Joel had at the free throw line.
Yeah.
It is what, Joel has.
Preternatural calmness. Yes.
Maybe not on the first tee when he's trying to qualify for the U.S. Open.
That was rougher. That was harder.
That was a little rougher.
Yeah.
But
it was the second tee. Although, to my credit, man,
my credit,
I blistered that ball.
Yeah.
Man. Gosh.
It happens. It happens to the best of us, even as a +3.
I
was an Aaron Judge home run off the
fairway.
Yeah.
We don't. We didn't have time to talk about today, Brock, was Geno. We didn't get any Geno Smith time.
Oh, Geno Smith?
Is Geno done? Is this the end?
We don't have time.
I will save it for next week.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
All right, Joel. Thank you. Good stuff as always. Thank you. Where are you this weekend? What do you got this weekend?
Ohio State at Illinois.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a good one right there. That's a little tasty.
Back to Champaign, baby. Let's go.
Well, it's good to see in the non-corporate world of college football that you'll be doing another Ohio State game. That's nice to hear.
Wow.
That was even funnier hearing it the second day. There you go. There was Joel Klatt, who joins us on Wednesdays at 8:30. Daniel Jeremiah, who you may remember we didn't get to talk to on Tuesday. We had some technical issues. Going to join us today at 9:30 as well as we get ready for Sunday's game in Jacksonville. Also, of course, got to figure out what happened last night. I would contend last night was the most frustrating loss of the season. Why? We'll dig into it with Brock together next on Brock and Salk.
Tomorrow, it all comes down to one win-or-go-home showdown at T-Mobile Park.
Listen to the roar of the crowd again. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out.
I would say we believe in each other and we're ready to fight.
It's a win-or-go-home Game 5 against the Tigers at T-Mobile. Tomorrow, first pitch at 5:08. And there's only one place you can hear the American League West champion Mariners in the playoffs. On Seattle Sports. On 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Seaport Airlines. Don't let a government shutdown ground your business travel. Seaport Airlines flies TSA free with service between Portland Business Aviation and Seattle's Boeing Field. No delays, no stress. Book today at flyseaportair.com.
Golf carts are fun and easy to drive. They can zip along up to 15 miles per hour in the sunshine, warm air, with your foot firmly on the dashboard. Now that's living. Pacific Power Batteries has some sweet 2021 Club Car Tempos for sale at about half the price of a brand new one. We offer a 2 or 4 seat model with capacity rated batteries and a 30-day, no hassle, money back satisfaction guarantee. Have a look online at pacificpowerbatteries.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Sometimes even heroes need rescuing.
I'm a retired firefighter, 27 years.
Kurt had severe pain in his knees and his shoulder, which was keeping him from enjoying his well-deserved retirement.
Loved to ski, loved to fish, and couldn't even walk 18 holes.
That's why Kurt decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
He was just awesome. He goes, yeah, give me a shot. And he took care of me. He stemmed my knee and my shoulder.
And how are you feeling now?
I was pain-free in 12 weeks. I play golf now pain-free, and it's awesome.
So you'd recommend this treatment to others in your situation?
Absolutely. Yeah, Dr. Wagner's, he's had a couple people call me, and I recommended that they do it.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This college football season, show your school spirit every time you pay. Introducing college-branded Venmo debit cards. Rep your team on and off the field with custom school designs that let everyone know who you root for. Whether you're tailgating, grabbing snacks for the watch party, or celebrating a win, you can unlock 15% cash back at ESPN, 1 free year of Perplexity Pro, and more. This college football season, score more with the Venmo debit card. Get yours now in the Venmo app. Learn more at venmo.com/collegecard.
Max cashback varies. Terms apply. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank, N.A.
Baseball's postseason is here.
Julio!
Seattle Sports Playoff coverage is presented by Honey Bucket, 710 KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma.
Get your freaking out!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
I don't read the internet, guys.
Take the bull by the hands.
And Brooke Hewart. And Brooke Hewart.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
Oh, man, what a frustrating day yesterday as the Mariners lose Game 4 in Detroit. I would argue easily the most frustrating loss of the season, Brock, more than the loss of Yankee Stadium, even the one in Game 1 of this series. A 3-0 lead in the fifth inning, and unfortunately a very tough pill to swallow as they lose that game pretty significantly. So, I mean, I got my reasons. We've been talking through them a little bit already this morning. I found out via poll, Brock, that I am very much in the minority about what I saw yesterday versus what a lot of other people saw. But regardless of it, man, you're in a tough spot. But it does also mean Game 5, winner take all in Seattle on Friday night.
It sure does. And that's kind of the Mariner way, right? I mean, it's kind of been the season.
Certainly this team's way.
What's come easy for this team other than obviously that home winning stretch and an unbelievable stretch of baseball there in September to distance yourself, a series in Houston that you swept those guys away to really, find yourself the American League West winners and front runners. But save for that, this is baseball for this team, for this organization. It doesn't come easy. Even at 3-0, I had friends, I won't mention who, but I had friends say this is over. This is done. We're going to the ALCS. And I'm like, I don't know. I know Detroit looks lifeless. I know the stadium's not sold out. I know they're getting booed. Even Benetti's like, how about my lifeless Tigers? And I'm like, yeah. Talk to me at the end of this sucker.
Wow. So what allowed them to wake up?
Well, unfortunately, your best reliever, you brought into the game. So going back to that fifth inning, Torkelson gets an end of the bat, little looper single. All right. Okay. So I think guys start to warm up there. It's this fifth inning.
Why are guys just starting to warm up then?
Well, Bryce had 4 shutout at that point. And I know he'd given up a couple hard hits this inning before. He gave up some hard hit contact in the first couple innings, Salk. Right? I mean, they hit a couple balls that could have been out, and no, I that's fine. That's how you see it. He's not had a hard inning.
Bryce Miller,
he's had no pressurized innings.
Bryce Miller's OPS the second time through in order this year is 923.
Okay.
Literally, the one thing we said yesterday was, or at least I did, over and over again, Bryce Miller is up, but immediately upon signs of any trouble whatsoever, you got to have somebody ready to go to come in for him. He's got to have the ultra quick hook.
Yep, and through four, he's sitting at 97. The second time through the lineup, he handled them fine, and then
he didn't handle them fine. In the fourth inning, he gives up he starts to get into some trouble, and he gives up a rocket, which turns into a double play. That was nice. But then you're seeing the velocity drop. Like, I'm sorry, man. I don't see it that way. And I'm looking at my little Twitter poll here, and 57% of people think that they should have left Bryce Miller in that game longer. 35% say Dan did it right. I stand with the 8.5% of people who think that it was too late. And honestly, you could make the argument for both too late and then eventually too early. Like, he did both. Like, first, I never would have started him in the fifth inning. To me, that's George Kirby. George Kirby's coming in to start the fifth. Like, I want George Kirby in to start the fifth clean because you've got a ways to go before the lefties come up. So I would have started either Kirby or Bizzardo. Now, look, hindsight, Bizzardo didn't have it, but does it look better if Bizzardo comes in before all of Detroit's momentum is? I don't know. Who the heck knows what would have happened if you had done it differently? You could still have lost the game. I'm not here to talk about results. I'm here to talk about process, as always. The process to me yesterday is flawed. Miller's OPS by time through the lineup. First time through, 682. Second time through, 923. Third time through, it's 880 when he gets there. Bryce Miller wasn't even supposed to be your starting pitcher yesterday. Any inning you get from the guy that you wanted to be in your bullpen, to me, was a gift. He'd given you 4 and started to look shaky in the fourth.
He exits the game ahead 3-1. So Torkelson singles. McKinstry has a great at-bat, gets him to roll over. Dirk Dingler comes in and hits what should have been a single, by the way. And our boy Randy Land out there, who has not been Mr. Playoff, unfortunately, is in his own little space cadet world, takes the worst angle imaginable, which should have been first and second in a 3-0 lead, turns into momentum because, he decides to take the worst Nori Aoki angle to that ball, lets it get by him, and all of a sudden, that's when that place erupted. If that's a single and it's 3-0, and here comes your best pitcher, your best leveraged platoon neutral arm, and Spire comes in, it's what happens then?
I don't know.
What happens then?
But now
what happens then?
I don't know what happens.
Come on, Randy. Like, wake up, cut the ball off, and it's a single, and it's first and second in your head, 3-0, and Spire comes in. And then, unfortunately, Spire doesn't have it. Bizzardo doesn't have it. They give up 7 runs, and we got a Game 5 Friday night.
Yeah, it's so funny. I see it so thoroughly differently from that. I just look at it and say, at the first sign of trouble, you got to have a righty ready to go to get to the lefties. And unfortunately, they didn't. So now you end up pulling Miller too late, but also too early. Like, he never should have started the inning. He should have been out after the first batter. But then at that point, once you get to where you're at, like, you got to have a righty to go long enough to get to the top of the order. Instead, you go to the lefty too early, and then he comes in, and then you allow AJ Hinch to pinch hit for Parker Meadows rather than forcing him to pinch hit for either Kerry Carpenter or Green. So, no matter how you slice it,
and ultimately,
I don't know
he
that
doesn't
you could have
pitch
pulled him at a worse time.
Yeah.
I don't know that you could have pulled him at a worse time. Yeah. I would have done it earlier, but I could understand the argument of doing it later and then look, he got the 2 lefties. Spire got the 2 lefties in that inning. Those are the 2 outs. He got the 2 lefties, which is what you're paying him to do. I know he's been a little more platoon neutral. He can still get righties out.
He's been a lot more platoon neutral.
He's
faced just about as many righties
but the reason
as
you
lefties
have him is so that he can, A, face the lefties, and if they decide to pinch hit for them, go after the righties. But you're allowing them to pinch hit for Parker Meadows instead of having to pinch hit for Kerry Carpenter.
You put Bizzardo
Yes.
or you put Bizzardo in, he's going to face Carpenter. He's the third guy. He's got to be in for 3
I'm putting
guys.
Bizzardo in after the first single. He doesn't have to face Carpenter. No way. Who had the first single? Torkelson?
Torkelson had a single.
Okay,
and then
so
you get a ground
I pull
out,
him
and
right
then
there. I pull him right there.
All right.
I pull him right there. Torkelson's out. Okay,
Dirk
first of all, I
Dingler.
wouldn't have started him in the inning. But Torkelson. So I bring in Bizzardo to face McKinstry, Dingler, Meadows, Baez. Perfect. And if he doesn't get those guys, then I got Spire. And if he does, then Spire's going to start the 6th. And now I can go 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm
hindsight,
good.
it turns out, unfortunately, Bizzardo doesn't have it.
Or that by the time he came in, the Tigers feel confident and everything else. I don't know what happens if Bizzardo comes in to face the lower part of that order. I don't know.
Tweeted, it's fine. As I tweeted last night, and we can all see this differently, I think the one thing that's been illuminated to me as a coach this year, and I've heard coaches say this, is, you do all you can through your process, through your preparation to get guys ready to go. Football's different than baseball, right? Schemes are different and everything else. But ultimately, then those guys got to go out there and compete and do their job. And unfortunately, Spire couldn't do his job and didn't do it very well. Righty or lefty. Yeah, I know he ends up getting Carpenter out, but he gave up, and let that thing get heated up. And then Bizzardo, unfortunately, when the game is still tight, gives up. Who gave up the home run to Green?
Spire.
Spire.
Yeah.
Yes. The first lefty home run Green has hits. He didn't do his job, and Bizzardo didn't do his job, and those guys sadly, unfortunately, didn't do their job, and that's competition.
Well, and as I said yesterday, Brock, and I've been saying this all along, first 4 innings are on the players, last 4 innings are on the players. The one in the middle seems to be the one that the manager is handling. The first 4 innings, the Mariners dominated. They did a great job. The last 4 innings absolutely go to the Detroit players, who were significantly better than the Mariners players. So I'm not taking the players off the hook. But the middle inning, that's now twice that I would say that they've really screwed up the one time that you get the opportunity to make these decisions to try to affect the game and put your players in the best possibility to win, the best position. On the other side, you saw it. I mean, AJ pulled Mize. Maybe you could argue it was too early, but what happened?
Should have been, because
what
he had
happened?
the bases loaded.
Well, but then what did he
out.
do? As soon as Holton got into a smidge of trouble, bang, see you later.
Well,
he's got a righty
bases
up ready.
Loaded. He's walking guys. He's rattled.
All
That's
right,
not
so
a
he
hard
immediately
decision.
gets somebody else into the game. The difference here to me is that AJ Hinch managed it yesterday like a postseason game. I thought Dan managed it like a regular season game.
Yeah, well, we can agree to disagree because I think he had his guys ready to go.
No, he didn't.
The two guys that you wanted. The only guy you wanted.
They weren't ready to go when they needed
then
to
guess
be ready.
What? Guess what, Salky? You go with Kirby. Guess who's not pitching Friday against Scooball? Kirby.
Fine.
Then what?
You win the game. Who cares?
You don't know that.
Well,
how did
if
Kirby
you
do
shut down
against?
the
How did
uprising,
Kirby do against Carpenter the last
if you
time?
shut
You
down
don't
the
know
I
that.
don't have Kirby pitching against Carpenter. What are you talking about?
Oh, so he just pitches the one inning. He just pitches to those 3 or 4 batters.
Sure.
And then her. And then
he gets to Carpenter the first time through rather than the third time through. You can't just like pick and choose that stuff.
Well, you can't either.
I'm
because
not.
Because in hindsight, these guys didn't have it. Whatever pocket Spire was going to pitch in, whatever pocket Bizzardo was going to pitch in the 5th or the 6th or the 7th, they didn't have it.
How do you know?
They didn't.
How do you know he doesn't have it in a different spot?
How do you know
what
he
happened?
does?
I don't, but
Exactly.
I'm playing odds. It's odds. I don't know what card is coming out next. When I'm playing blackjack, I don't know what the next card is. Yep. All I know is what's going to give me the best chances, the best process to get the cards that are going to beat the dealer. You're right. I don't know whether it's going to be a 6 or a 10. And maybe yesterday, Bizzardo was the 10 when you needed a 6. But
I don't know and I don't even know if Kirby was in their plans. And that's not a Dan question. That's a Pete Woodworth. That's a Jerry DePoto. That's a Justin Hollander,
Brock,
right?
The guy who was starting, you didn't even want, if Brian was healthy, he's not even starting. He's a bullpen guy.
Sure.
In the postseason. Sure. Why? Because he can't get through the lineup a second time through. You'd gotten through the lineup once. He's obviously got something still going on with his elbow.
You got through the meat of the lineup the second time. And if Randy does his job,
out you are doing there, you are stealing over what you probably should have gotten process-wise.
All right, we're way late.
Are we? Oh, my gosh. All right, we'll take a break, and then on to happier things ahead. Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com.
Yesterday marked 30 years since the greatest moment in Mariners franchise history.
Swung on the line down the left field line for a base hit.
That was a Game 5, just like the one coming up tomorrow at T-Mobile. Don't miss the next great Mariners moment, the one we'll be talking about 30 years from now. Where will you be listening for the next?
And the fans are going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
First pitch tomorrow at 5:08.
Well, the fall is a great time. It's a little better time when your baseball team wins, a Game 4 to move to the ALCS. But it didn't happen. That's fine. That's baseball. It's the way that it goes. But what can happen for you is you can reset your workout on brand new stuff at Top Fitness. Got some great deals going on right now. I'm talking about working out in your home gym, your own home gym. I told y'all for years that's the very best. And from flooring to everything that goes in that gym, treadmills, ellipticals, strength training systems, Top Fitness provides it all. They represent the very best brands available, like Washington's own Precor, the company that created the elliptical, and Inspire Fitness, the leader in strength training machines, along with many others. Give Top Fitness your room dimensions to your extra office space, your garage, and they'll do the rest. A complete fitness room design. And right now, get 0% interest financing and mention you heard it from me, and you'll get another $100 off any new treadmill or home gym. No secret why everyone from personal trainers to pro athletes love Top Fitness. They've got locations up in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Northwest homeowners, when it comes to your roof, you need a name you can trust. Techline Roofing has proudly served the Seattle area for years, delivering exceptional results and lasting security. Choose Techline Roofing. Your trust is our foundation. trust Techline.
The LJ way is.
You look at stuff like this and it's like, I don't want to come into an industry and work on a place that is going to compromise how I feel about myself. I get to go to work every day with good people and I get to enjoy what I do because I'm out there just trying to do right by people I care about, which is our community. We're going to see them at the grocery store. I'm going to see them at the sports tournaments. 2 friends of our daughters came in last night just on the lot, didn't know I was there. And it was cool because you got to take them through and they're going to buy a car for their first driver and a car for their kid going to school soon. These are the people that you're going to work with. And so you better make sure that your laundry's clean. I don't think Lee Johnson specifically, right, Speedway Chevrolet, where I'm at, I don't think they've ever had a problem with the community of being able to stand up and look them in the eye and know that they did their job well.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Planning a road trip? Plan a visit to your neighborhood Bucky's Complete Auto Repair for oil changes, brakes, AC repair, and factory maintenance. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Visit buckys.com.
Get rid of stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin with ProSculpt, the simple one-day permanent fat reduction and skin tightening treatment. Book your free consultation at prosculpt.com.
Temperatures are dropping, but you don't have to settle for a chilly home this winter. Keep cozy and safe with energy-saving products during Washington Energy's home heating sale on now. Upgrading your home is as easy as $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 off. Take $1,000 off furnaces, fireplaces, and water heaters, $2,000 off high-efficiency heat pump systems, and $3,000 off whole home generators and ductless mini splits, plus free financing. Washington Energy Services, your expert resource for affordable home comfort. Call for a free estimate.
Hey Mariner fans, Rick Riz here. Steel deals are happening now, from instant savings on select power tools to free battery offers on some of Steel's most popular battery sets. You can enjoy great deals and do it all with Steel. Save now on zero-turn mowers, blowers, chainsaws, battery packs, and more. Steel is the preferred handheld outdoor power equipment provider of the Seattle Mariners. For more details, visit your local Steel dealer or click steelusa.com. Steel, trusted by the pros.
It's always such a pleasure for me to catch up with you, Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. And as I understand it, calendar year is wrapping up. There's never a better time to take care of your aches and pains. Why?
Well, it's always a great time to come see us here at IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. We'll take care of your aches and pains. We'll get you better. But particularly, Brock, at the end of the year, most people have met their deductibles. They may have HSA, may have FSA funds. So use the opportunity to use your insurance to treat those aches and pains so you're not taking them into the new year. So you're healthy, fit, and you're excited about the new year. That's what it's all about. Here at IRG, we are so dedicated to making sure our patients really understand the insurance because it's a complex world. So when you call us, we're going to help you navigate your insurance. But I will tell everybody listening right now, if you've met your deductible, get your aches and pains treated here at IRG. We'll take care of you. We'll take care of your insurance. We'll take care of your family. We'll take care of everybody.
Clinics up and down the Puget Sound for you to go visit or see them online at irgpt.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Oh boy, got check time now for the Mariners, Brock. They blow the early lead, 3-run lead yesterday. They get out of Detroit in, unfortunately, scathed in Game 4. Started well, Canzone with the early RBI. Cal had an RBI as well. You score on a double play, but unfortunately that 3-run lead all went awry. In the 5th, Bryce Miller started to falter. The wheels come off. Tigers score 3. 4 more in the 6th, and obviously that was more than enough as they kept pouring it on and on. Problems for Spire, problems for Bizzardo, problems for Vargas. It just, unfortunately, bullpen didn't have it.
Really, they were just able to get to our bullpen today, and it's been such a strength, and they've thrown the ball incredibly well all season long. And, one of the things our guys do the best is they bounce back, and we're going to do that, and no better place to do that than going back home and being able to do that at home and on Friday night will be what we need to do.
Many different ways to attack it, many conversations and debates to have. The two brothers were just fighting there, yes, in the first little segment, back and forth a little bit.
And by the way, I love all the text messages, people agreeing with both of us. The only one I won't hear is Salk as being a Monday morning quarterback. I promise you. And Brock can attest to this.
Yes.
I felt this way during the game yesterday.
Yeah. The other challenge, and I thought, again, that booth was really cool yesterday with Adam and AJ and Adam Amin, those guys just bantering back and forth, and it struck me a few times. And AJ's like, you got to step on him. Here's your chance to step on him. This crowd is booing. This crowd is restless. It was not a great crowd anyway. You're ahead, and you had multiple opportunities there. And, let's face it as well. Like, just facts are facts. Julio and Jorge were 0 for 17 with 9 strikeouts in 2 games in Detroit. And both had chances yesterday to play a little add-on and to get that one hit and to put up that crooked number. And we're probably not having these kind of debates.
Yeah, Josh even spoke to that, Josh Naylor, after the game.
Can't really let up on teams like that, like those, the Clevelands, the KCs, kind of honestly everyone in that Central Division. You can't really let up. You just got to keep getting runs and put the ball game away in like the 5th or the 6th.
All right, so now you get a Game 5 in Seattle Friday. Winner take all. Detroit will have Tarek Skubal. Who will the Mariners start opposite him? Is it Luis Castillo, who'll be on regular rest? Is it George Kirby on an extra day of rest? We'll find out, and we'll discuss here in about 10 minutes. First pitch comes just after 5 p.m.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Well, whoever does win Friday is going to be headed to Toronto for Game 1 of the ALCS. The Blue Jays, Brock, were able to bounce back, and they did it in style. They win 5-2 yesterday. Vlad Guerrero was out of control in the series. 9 of 17, 3 home runs, 9 driven in. And afterwards, he and David Ortiz were rubbing it in the face of the Yankees.
Dale, Yankee lose. Yankee lose. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
How many times do you want to hear it? I've got 30 seconds of this.
Yankees lose.
I don't know. It's pretty fun. Especially seeing Jeter and A-Rod there. Especially Jeter just looked miserable. It's hilarious.
That Toronto team's pretty good, Salky.
They're hitting.
Yeah, they are. They're, out of the 12 playoff teams, they are by far the one that mashed the most. And the playoff teams that didn't hit, like Cleveland and San Diego and Cincy and Boston, they were all eliminated first. So, yeah, Toronto's pretty good, man. We didn't pay a lot of attention to them. We didn't see them a lot. They took care of the Mariners in the regular season, earlier in the season. We didn't see them in the second half or down the stretch, but they were the better team throughout the whole regular season. And they were the much better team, taking 3 of 4 from the Yankees.
That is for sure. Meanwhile, in the National League, everyone staved off elimination. Cubs built a lead and then just basically held on for dear life. They win 4-3. The Phillies just unbelievable, bashing the Dodgers. Schwarber had 2 home runs. They score 8, many of them coming off of Clayton Kershaw, who couldn't even pitch in relief. That guy, he cannot pitch in the postseason.
No.
It's unbelievable. Both NL
5
series.
runs?
Yeah. He looked awful, too. Both NL series will continue today.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Don't forget the Seahawks, Brock. They'll be were back on the practice field yesterday ahead of this big trip to Jacksonville. Injuries are, well, there's a lot of them. 10 names on the injury report. 5 big-time defensive players. Derek Hall, Ernest Jones, DeMarcus Lawrence, Julian Love, Devin Witherspoon, Reek Woolen, all absent in some way. Only Reek was even a limited participant.
Yeah, that's 5 of your difference makers. And now I think that's obviously the right thing to do. You try to give them as much time as possible. Coach McDonald said that Wednesday afternoon in his presser, that for a bunch of these guys, it's going to be a later in the week. That means, to me, can they on Friday show that they can run around a little bit and then respond the right way Saturday and make sure that they can do this thing? But yeah, unlike Jacksonville, who just about had everybody, at least as a limited participant, and maybe getting Trayvon Walker back as well.
And they're making trades for corners, and yeah, we'll see. It's a little challenge ahead of the Seahawks. Kraken will open up their season tonight at home, against Anaheim.
Yes.
That's everything you need to know. 1:15 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. Yeah, I did flip over and watch a little hockey last night.
You look at the Kraken schedule, by the way?
It's a lot of games.
2 at home,
yeah.
And then I want to say it's a 7-game road trip.
They head out early.
Oh, gosh.
I know.
Like a 2-weeker.
Yeah.
And not an easy one either.
No, but that's where you got to go bond. And, you know, and with the compressed schedule of the Olympics, like there's a lot of games in a short period of time. All right. Regardless, we'll come back maybe to some of the issues from last night. But also, you got to look forward because tomorrow you're going to face Tarek Skubal. Fine, you know that. And you know what it takes to try to beat him. Who are you going to throw opposite him? They have 2 guys on at least regular rest, both with a very deserving claim to that title of the player who should start Game 5. What should they do, and how will they make the call? We'll discuss next on Brock and Salk.
Hawks Live.
Touchdown!
presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square Center Court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer with this week's guest, Seahawks safety Nick Eamon-Wari.
This should be fun.
Hawks Live. Tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports, on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
All right, hey, Mike Salk here, and as we watch all of this incredible action, you can think back a few months and where you were at and, you know, how far the team and everybody else has come in such a short amount of time. The same can be true for you and your weight. What if I told you in just a couple short months you could be down 25, 35 pounds, maybe even by Thanksgiving? Yeah, wouldn't you do that? A couple of months is all it takes with Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. I did it. I lost 25 pounds in a month, 35 pounds overall, no pills, no injections. No counting calories, no prepackaged meals, none of that. You follow a plan, one that involves eating delicious fresh food. Yes, fresh food that you buy at the grocery store, and you get a team to provide encouragement, coaching, and accountability. As we know, coaching pretty important this time of year. All it takes to get started is a free 15-minute consultation. Book one today at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
It's the World Fighting Championships at Emerald Queen Casino Event Center, Saturday night, October 25th. Experience the thrill and excitement of high-energy mixed martial arts. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss this amazing professional mixed martial arts event, the World Fighting Championships, October 25th at Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. 21 and older, need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
Lowe's knows pros want more. Join My Lowe's Pro Rewards for free to get $20 off your first qualifying purchase of $100 or more just for signing up. Plus, enjoy free standard shipping and more ways to save on your next job. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer valid for new members only. Not valid with any other discount. Free standard shipping not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/pro-loyalty for details. Subject to change.
Yay to Bruce, the streaming king.
With quantum fiber internet, he's gonna binge.
He wants more. He's got to have more.
More bedtime true crime.
More podcasts in the shower.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi has the power. More.
Fast internet speed. He's got the geeks to go big. Bring him the games
right now.
And his royal we.
More sports non-stop. His quantum fiber's on top. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service and speed in select locations only.
Headed outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nellie on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on seattlesports.com.
Cancer impacts so many families, including mine. Former Washington Husky Mario Bailey here. My mother was treated for cancer at UW Medicine. As devastating as cancer is, there is hope because the Cancer Vaccine Institute is developing vaccines to treat and prevent the deadliest cancers. Patients who received vaccines over 20 years ago are still alive today. Please join me and make a donation to the Cancer Vaccine Institute at local Safeway stores. Learn more at uwcvi.org.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through October 19th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kinda like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
This hour of the Brock and Salk Show is powered by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Regardless of what happened yesterday, you got Game 5 tomorrow, the opportunity for epic memories, the type of things that, live on, right? These winner-take-all games, you get to have it at home. 5 o'clock is such a cool time on a Friday night. It's not the stupid 1:40 spot that the Mariners would have had if the Yankees hadn't lost yesterday. But it's also not late. It's just like right after work, 5 o'clock Friday. Get out there and go see what your team has against Detroit. I love it. I think that's really cool. And when you can kind of get away from the frustration of yesterday, and there's a lot of it, I think looking forward to tomorrow, it'll be, yes, anxiety-provoking and everything else, but man, this is what you sign up for, right?
It is, and it was also just telling to me, and if that was a Game 4 in Seattle yesterday, Salk, the building is sold out. It's a playoff game to go to the ALCS, and the fact that Detroit didn't show up for a lot of that, and their fans were fine after they booed their own team, yeah, man, these Seattle fans.
It has been a rough month and a half, though, for the Tigers fans. I'm not going to start criticizing them. It has been a rough month and a half. And I'm sure there's probably a part of them that assumes, the team was never that good to begin with. They had a couple of weird good months, but then other than that, there just isn't as much to believe in.
Second half of all of last year, they make a run in the playoffs. Yeah. They're unbelievable, through the All-Star break. Front runner up 15 games. I mean, it wasn't like a 20-game stretch or an 80-game stretch. You're talking about a 160-game stretch. Oh, with the All-Star break? I don't know. I'm saying they had 3 All-Stars.
I was going to say, because they didn't really add this year. I think that was one of the things that probably
Finnegan, I think
crazy.
They added the reliever.
Yeah, but I mean, it was not like a huge, go after it and try to get much. Anyway, whatever. You're going to play them tomorrow night one last time. Who do you want on the mound? You got 2 choices, essentially, Castillo and Kirby. Both guys would have at least regular rest. Castillo will be on regular rest, 4 days rest. George would have 1 extra day of rest, which happens all the time throughout the season, right? That's very normal. Every time you've got an off day built into the schedule, you get 1 extra day, so 5 days of rest. So in terms of rest, there's really not an argument one way or another for either of those 2 guys. I started looking, okay, what happened? Could you use both of them and still kind of be okay to start the ALCS if you win? And the short answer is yes, you could. You could piggyback them. If you do, you would have Logan and didn't pitch Logan. You would have him on regular rest on Sunday for the first game of the ALCS. Then Monday would be Miller also on regular rest. And that's unless you have Brian Wu, who obviously would make this a whole lot easier if he were able to return for the first couple of games of the championship series. So, you and then if he did, you could have either whoever pitches tomorrow would be back on regular rest for Game 3 on Wednesday. So there's almost no downside to using both Castillo and Kirby in this game tomorrow, at least looking forward. Now, if you want to start adding in Logan or adding in more, then it starts to get a little bit more complicated. But if you want to use both Castillo and Kirby, there's almost, I wouldn't say no downside. If Wu comes back, there's no downside. It is essentially
Any updates on that at all since
nothing?
Thursday.
And it's such a bummer because obviously if he starts that game yesterday, it is a completely different scenario and everything else. And you could even make the now look, I'm going to say something here that I probably shouldn't say out loud. I probably should keep this to myself.
That's not like you.
But if hypothetically, if Brian Wu was ready to return now, it is hypothetically possible that maybe Luke Jackson hurt himself yesterday pitching in mop-up duty, needs to go on the IL. You would have to bring in someone from your taxi squad. That would include Brian Wu. And then, obviously, at that point, Jackson is not available for the following series, the ALCS. So if he tweaked a little something in the arm, or maybe had a little quad injury pop up, or I don't know, the oblique was flaring up, just something that just didn't feel quite right after that game. And you want, and if, again, hypothetically speaking, Brian Wu was ready, you could have him available to pitch tomorrow.
Yeah, we've not even heard a whisper.
I know. I said this is all hypothetical, Brock.
Right.
I don't think any of that is going to happen.
You don't want him starting. You're not going to start.
I don't. I'm just saying, hypothetically.
In that hypothetical, would you start him?
No, I wouldn't.
All of this rest.
But would I hypothetically want him on the roster just in case? If he's available, sure. Yeah.
I'm starting Luis Castillo tomorrow night.
Okay, good.
George
you and
has
me
come
both.
out. George has come out of the bullpen. I think he'd be more comfortable in that than if it were reversed. I'm looking at Luis to get 18 outs, and maybe it's 19. Maybe it's Carpenter the first time
18
around.
outs? Wait, say that again?
Twice through the lineup. I want somebody to go twice through the lineup, whatever that is. Twice through the lineup. And and then I'm going to probably lean into George. Depends if it's Spire. I'm going to Spire at the top of that lineup with the lefties, and then it's to Mr. Kirby. And I don't know.
Yeah,
and
twice through the lineup would probably only be a couple. Remember, 18 outs would be 6 innings. So that's probably not going to happen.
Twice through the lineup.
Yes, to give you 18 batters is what you're saying.
That's right.
Yes. You know what? You and I see this very similarly. And I by the way, I don't think it's what they'll do. My gut tells me that the reason George started game 1 is because they see him as being ahead of Luis, and he will end up starting game 5. But I personally agree with you, Brock. I would and put up a little poll on this yesterday. It was 60-40 in favor of Kirby. So closer, necessarily, I guess, than the other poll that I put up.
I mean, could Castillo conceivably be as comfortable as George coming out of the bullpen? It was a couple years ago. I mean, it's been some time.
Castillo seems to be comfortable doing whatever. I just don't know whether his stuff plays up as much out of the pen. But I think if you tell both of them, hey, look, just need 18 batters. Give me 18. And or whatever that is, right? Give me a couple of times through the lineup, you're fine. And both guys have been tremendous if you keep them to that and piggyback them on top of each other. And then, if you're starting either one of them at the top of an inning, at the fresh part of an inning, who cares? I mean, they can treat it as if warm up as if you're starting.
Now, what about Cade Anderson? Is he available?
I don't know.
Because that
one might be a stretch.
Man, I was daydreaming about him and the difference that elite lefties make.
Yeah.
If he can become Crochet, if he can become Scooble, if he can become an elite left-handed guy, you see just how neutralizing those suckers can be. And, eventually, obviously not tomorrow, but eventually Cade Anderson, you hope, can be that kind of southpaw difference maker as well. Yeah, I think I go with Luis, and George absolutely knows you're going to play as vital a role in this one as you played in Toronto a couple years ago to close out that series. And then it's obviously Spire versus the lefties in that pocket. It's then Brash and Mooney that are unbelievably fresh and ready to go at the tail end of it. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys to take on their horse.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't have any problems going back to Spire tomorrow. I mean, I think he'll be just fine. Obviously, it was a rough day for him, but I don't believe they figured out Gabe Spire. And if you need to, you kind of have everything you need set up, but you got to be able to do that. I mean, the one challenge here is I thought that's what they should have done yesterday. right? I thought yesterday, I mean, again, Luis has been a starter. You started him in game 2. Bryce Miller was the guy that was going to the bullpen, and there was a question mark as to whether or not he would even pitch in the starting rotation here in the postseason or even in game 4 at all. So I would have had Kirby on the alert 5 on, for the game yesterday. Clearly that was not the case. Clearly, and that to me is not a managerial decision. That's an organizational decision that they wanted Kirby. And so that's what tells me, Brock, that they are probably going to start Kirby tomorrow.
Yep.
If you weren't going to do that, then you probably should have used him yesterday when the situation called for it.
Yeah. By the way, what's really lost in yesterday's game, unfortunately, 40 minutes in, was how unbelievably good Josh Naylor was.
Oh.
And what a nuisance and a pest for them, and what a celebration for you. The double to start it, couple singles. He's on second base. He's an irritant. I don't even know if that stuff is real, by the way. I think he was just.
Yeah, we're going to dig into some of that at 8:30 as we go through some takeaways.
Maybe it was early on, but oh my gosh.
I know.
Was he trying to will it, and you just watched him communicate with guys and talk through it. And I love that sound after the game, that when you've got an opponent down, you have got to step on them and finish them.
We'll come back to some of that stuff, I promise. Let me give you, this was Dan when asked about who would start tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll announce that, coming up. But, I think, we've been able to get to Scooble throughout, and we have another chance to do that on Friday. And offensively, we've done some really good things in this series and continue to do some of those things today. So we will certainly be ready on Friday.
Lyle, how you feel? Are they going to be able to get to Scooble on Friday? Do you feel good about that?
Does Lyle ever feel good about the Mariners?
And Scooble?
Like, his fandom doesn't allow for it.
No, it doesn't. Sir, and his love of Scooble's not going to allow for it either. So, you know what? I shouldn't even ask.
Don't even ask.
Let me ask Trevor May.
No, I'm sorry, Lyle.
No, he doesn't want to answer.
There was a pause.
I can tell. He doesn't want to answer. No,
still don't want to answer.
It's the fatalist in him. He can't do it.
All right, let me then say that Trevor May was asked who should start. Brock, he will answer the question on foul territory.
Seattle, it's just a question of which one of those two guys you start and how quickly you go to the other one. My guess would be probably you start Castillo because he has historically had good success against Detroit, and he's matched up head-to-head with Tarek Skubal, which the Mariners won both times. He goes head-to-head. He goes toe-to-toe. That is very much his style, and I think maybe Kirby may be a little bit more tougher to get a handle on as a reliever. Throws lots of pitches, really nasty stuff, pitches moving all over the place. And Castillo's more of a 3-pitch guy. You know what you're going to get. It's just going to be about commanding it, and he's going to go right after you. So I would assume that'll be the way they go, and they'll play it.
And I think George, to your point, would ramp up in that bullpen situation. I think he would come in and could be sitting there 98, maybe 99. I don't see that with Luis.
I don't think he has that.
He doesn't.
I think you saw what he has the other day, which is
was
fine.
96 and super effective. And
if he gets that 2-seamer and the movement that he gets on it, I'm not not denigrating it. I'm with you, Brock. I don't think there's like another level that he gets. And by the way, that's what you were seeing with Miller yesterday. You were seeing some of that little playoff burst, right? As he's throwing 97 early. But as that, I don't mean to keep coming back to it, but as that wears off, it did feel like everything kind of changed on him. And that is sort of the other part, Brock. We were having that debate earlier about, what you could have done and should have done. We didn't even really get to the fact that the velocity dropped. I mean, forgetting about the fact that I'd be using the numbers there to try to figure out what to do. At the very least, you got to use the eyes and see that the numbers are dropping significantly as there's a few miles an hour that have come off the fastball. He's not the same pitcher anymore.
Yep. Which is why, again, I'll come back to Randy, unfortunately, makes a really boneheaded play in left field.
It's so interesting.
That the first and second, and it's not ideal for Spire to come in or whoever to come in there, but it would have been 3-0 with an out, trying to just get out of that inning and get to,
Do you think the difference between 3-0 and 3-1 is that significant for the reliever coming in?
A double going to the gap and the place coming alive and putting a run on the board.
You don't think that place is going to be alive either way? I don't know.
It's going to be, but come on, Randy. Come on.
I'm not saying it's a good play. I'm not here to defend a bad defensive play, but it's interesting. Yeah, I didn't see it as nearly as indicative of the problem. Maybe because I was already so focused on what was happening, elsewhere, that it just didn't even dawn on me that would be as big of a problem. I think you make a reasonable point.
I mean, it's just a detail, right? It's just that thing you could take a good angle, get a good jump on the ball, keep it in front of you. Don't let, the further bleeding begin, and don't let the run score, and don't put a guy on second.
There is that other element, though, Brock, where I always just sort of say, well, it's Randy Arozarena. It's not what he's good at.
I know, but he's playoff Randy.
I know, but playoff Randy does not necessarily mean he's going to turn into like the most attentive to detail in the outfield. Like, that's not going to change his inability to take great routes on balls.
Well, down a run with runners at first and second. Don't look at 97 down the middle.
Yeah,
like be ready to swing.
And it's too bad because he actually had kind of a decent start to the game, right? I mean, like. He comes out, he scored the first run. Randy was starting to do some things.
Naylor scored the first.
No, I'm sorry. Was it the second run that he scored or third run? He scored one of the run. Third run. He scored the third run, scoring on Cal's. Yeah, sorry. The details, Brock. Me and Randy, we're just not details people. I don't know what to tell you. We're just space cadets. Let's do some Blue 88.
This is Brock and Salk's Blue 88, powered by Xfinity.
We're going to go red, right, tight, close, sprint left, G, U corner, halfback, flat, on one. Ready?
Brock Ewart tackles 3 football questions as only he can.
Blue 88.
Now here's your hosts, Brock Ewart and Mike Salk.
All right, Brock, question number 1. The Seahawks have a clear best player on their defense. It's Leonard Williams. What does he think about the tackling problems Mike McDonald brought up to us on Monday?
I can talk about it. Coach can talk about it, right? But what about your best defensive player? What does he think about? I'm really curious what old Big Cat had to say. He was asked about it. Here was Leonard Williams' answer.
I mean, I think a lot of it is just effort, just running to the ball. And then, we have some coaches that, we talk about like effort and angles and tackling. I feel like the effort and angles is a big part of tackling. If you don't cover those two parts of getting to the football, then I think the tackling part is kind of hard to catch up to.
I think
effort and angles.
I think from a defensive line perspective, he's 100% spot on. Right, this is the difference at the 3 different levels of those defenders, and the difference in fundamentals and techniques and all of that. When you're a defensive lineman, right, if you don't make the play right at the point of attack, what do you got to do? You got to retrace, you got to have effort, you got to pursue, and there is a whole bunch more effort there. If you're at the 2nd or 3rd level now, there's more details. There's more details on what you're seeing, on what you're keying, on your angles to that pursuit, on how you're leveraging inside out. If you're in the secondary and you're an unblocked guy like Woolen is or Nehemiah Pritchett is, and you're the backside support, you've got to come up and you've got to finish. You got to have a want to. You've got to be able to stick your face in the fan, and again, outside in, do your job well. So every level is a little different. I think Leonard speaks to the effort of pursuit on that defensive line. But the 2nd and 3rd level, and by the way, Jacksonville's got a pretty good running back, man. ETN is one of the 5 best runners production-wise in the league, and you better be on point Sunday tackling him.
All right, question number 2. Speaking of people you're going to have to be on point with, what's the most concerning matchup of this game on Sunday?
One of the concerning elements to me is Liam Cohen watches that game and goes, oh, that's funny. That's pretty good. That's my stuff. Right? He was play caller there for Baker last year, and their passing game coordinator got elevated to OC. And there is nothing that Liam Cohen saw in that entire playbook and game plan that Tampa Bay did that's like, oh, why don't I add that? Instead, it's, oh, we already do this.
We do that already.
Hey, Trevor, take a look at this. Remember what we installed in OTAs in May? I remember some of that stuff we worked on in training camp. Here it is, come to life. And here's Baker throwing for 87% against these guys. And here's this opportunity and that opportunity and this movement and this play action. And that, that's the one little element that is a bit unique in this back-to-back weeks, is a coordinator that knew that quarterback, that is that system, and is doing a lot of the same things in Jacksonville and wanting his very talented quarterback to go execute it.
All right, question number 3. Sam Darnold, we talked a lot about him yesterday with Joel Klatt, and I thought Joel was really good about saying, hey, there's different times and different situations for quarterback, and whether you're picking up those garbage yards in the middle doesn't mean a lot to me. How are you doing when you absolutely need to throw and everyone knows it? How is Sam doing in those situations?
We wanted to play that sound, but Maura couldn't cut up the 3.5-minute answer, so.
Thanks, Joel. Appreciate it.
Maura, I let Joel know that you're very upset that the sound hound can cut anything, but when he goes on and on and on.
No, he's great. He's great, but he likes to define and give you a history of everything before he gives the answer. And I just was asking Salk, which part of this do you want? 'Cause it's very long.
Yes. Yeah, it was. And Joel is obviously, I'm making fun of him. He's really, really good. And it's probably the pot and the kettle and whatever.
He can be good and long-winded at the same time.
And I can do the same. Yes. Maybe it's a quarterback thing, so I totally get it. I reached out to the hitman, Brady Henderson, who's got all the next level stats. What Joel kind of boil it down, Salk, it's not like, hey, base downs. Don't tell me what you're doing on base downs or between the 20s. Tell me what you're doing in situational football. All in, Sam Darnold is number 1 in the league in total QBR at nearly 80, which is unheard of stuff. Russ never did that, for a season. He did it in stretches. Geno never did that. He's sitting on top of the total QBR mountain. But in these key situations, there's some telling stuff. On third downs, he is 4th in raw QBR at 90.1. So the total and the raw are a little bit different in their algorithms, but it gives you still perspective. He's 4th in the league on third down. He's been really, really good. He's been on point. He's been on target. He's been accurate. He's been great. He's top 5 QB on third down. You get to the red zone in the final 2 minutes of each half, you're looking at 11th and 10th. And that fumble plays a role in it.
Yep.
That interception plays a role in it. Right, wrong, and different. Who you want to blame. QBR is supposed to be much more specific to only the quarterback in that. And those aren't terrible numbers. You're still top 10 of the league. You're top 5 on third downs. It's still really, really good production, but those are areas he and the team could continue to hone and sharpen.
All right, there you go. Good stuff. A good version of Blue 88 today. Every morning we do that at 7:45. Just a chance to make sure we talk a little bit of football, and you can plan on it. We'll talk a little more at 9:30 this morning with Daniel Jeremiah. And so he got bumped. He had some technical issues on Tuesday, so we're going to do that this morning at 9:30. Speaking of football, the Seahawks season, of course, is underway. Well underway now. We want to send you and 3 of your friends to the Monday night game on October 20th against the Texans. All you got to do is open the Seattle Sports app, Brock, and click the Win tab to find out how to win those tickets. If you don't already have that app, you know what to do. Text the word app, APP.
You know me.
To 866-979-3776. We'll send you that link to download it. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. The contest will run through Monday, October 13th. October 13th.
It's so weird, isn't it? It's so weird to do this job and at times be so hyper-focused in training camp and preseason games and the start of the NFL season and the Mariners, going through the dog days of August and into September. And then the Mariners just get so unbelievably, historically hot and do something they hadn't done in 25 years. And now on the precipice, and yesterday we're 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. We're 15 outs away, 14 outs away from going to the ALCS, right, with a lead and in position and just can't finish the deal. And I love my football, you know that. But my gosh, just emotionally, the way that the Mariners have everybody in this town right now.
Yeah.
Right? On the cusp of trying to do something.
Oh, is there some
really
emotion?
Special.
Is there some emotion associated with it?
I was just
interesting. That's weird that there'd be any emotion associated with
I think we're going to hear some of it. And
I think we will. We got takeaways coming up at 8:30. And yes, your voice is next on Brock and Salk.
Tomorrow, it all comes down to one win or go home showdown at T-Mobile Park.
Listen to the roar of the crowd again. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out.
I would say we believe in each other and we're ready to fight.
It's a win or go home Game 5 against the Tigers at T-Mobile. Tomorrow, first pitch at 5:08. And there's only one place you can hear the American League West champion Mariners in the playoffs on Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included. for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at Xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Are you road trip ready? Bucky's Complete Auto Repair will make your car safe and dependable with expert service and old-fashioned care. Brakes, oil change, factory service, and more. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Bucky's.com.
Tired of uneven heating, noisy systems, and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings with every system, and every system qualifies for max tax credits. Call the Comfort People at HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Lowe's knows pros want more. Join My Lowe's Pro Rewards for free to get $20 off your first qualifying purchase of $100 or more just for signing up. Plus, enjoy free standard shipping and more ways to save on your next job. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer valid for new members only. Not valid with any other discount. Free standard shipping not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/pro-loyalty for details. Subject to change.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
The playoffs are here, and Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are bringing the heat with a rotation that's built to win. The Gas RAV4, built for every inning of Northwest life. Or go versatile with the hybrid RAV4. The Tacoma, tough, dependable, and always clutch. And now, stepping up, the all-new 2026 Toyota Tundra. Redesigned, powerful, and built for big moments. Whether you're in the north or the south, they've got you covered. Visit ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com and get your championship ride.
O'Brien. Need a break from everything? Escape to a place where anything is possible and the fun never stops. At Silver Reef Casino Resort, you'll discover world-class dining, championship caliber golf, a full sports book and bar, over 1,000 top-rated slots and table games, and so much more. Come join the fun and see why we've been consistently rated one of the region's top destinations. Visit silverreefcasino.com to book your stay and discover all the exciting events and promotions we have in store for you. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5, exit 260.
Baseball's postseason is here. Seattle Sports Playoff coverage is presented by Honey Bucket, 710 KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Heward and Matt Marcus. Sorry about just Mike Heward.
Not exactly Joe Cat there in the pocket.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Eward and Mike Salk.
All right, we have not ever had enough time for Here's the Thing, Brock, so I'm going to make sure we go right to it today. At 8:30 this morning, we'll do takeaways from last night and a whole bunch of baseball debates that came with it and observations, and then 9:30, Daniel Jeremiah. But right now, you guys have downloaded the Seattle Sports app, and once you do, you can leave us messages. We play them at 8 o'clock. It's called Here's the Thing.
Brock Eward doesn't just hate one kid.
I am so disappointed in Michael Salk.
You don't know what you're talking about. You're mindless. Love you, bye.
It's time for Brock and Salk's Here's the Thing.
Okay, here's the thing.
All right, Here's the Thing is divided into two categories today, Brock. The second are the traditional Here's the Thing messages.
I felt like I needed to keep it separate. There's a whole section of people mad at you for jinxing everything yesterday and being overconfident.
The first are the mad at me, as if I was the one who mismanaged the game and didn't execute both as a pitcher or in left field. Here you go. We'll start with Mackenzie.
Can Salk shut his mouth tomorrow morning? Are you scared of the Tigers' offense now?
No.
Thanks for the jinx, buddy.
Of course I'm not. You throw them softballs and major leaguers can hit them.
You sounded Canadian.
Yeah, a little bit. Here's James.
Here's the thing for Mike Salk. You totally jinxed us today by being so smug and ignorantly arrogant on the air today when you were talking to Adam Wainwright. How dare you? Oh, you're so frustrating. This is all your fault, Mike. You ruined this whole day. You're the reason why everything fell apart, and I hope you don't sleep well for the next couple of weeks, because if we lose this Scooble, we are going after you and your job security.
Whoa, wow. You almost held it together until the end. What about all the previous days where I've been super confident?
Mm-hmm.
Did those not count? It was only bad luck yesterday. Just
well,
so
when
I
you try to
understand
close it
that
out,
part.
Saul. When you try to close it out, you show your opponent.
So the first few
respect.
days, it meant nothing.
Nothing.
When I was confident about beating Scooble and then they did, that was not a jinx.
No.
But this was a jinx.
That's exactly
Just want to thank Salk for committing the cardinal sin in the Pacific Northwest of being cocky going into a playoff game.
I wasn't cocky. I just said one team is better than the other. They
You're
are.
borderline arrogant.
You have to go ahead and prove it, and it's baseball. Anything can happen in a baseball game. I said it yesterday. But you're a better team. You should win. You have a better roster.
You really broke Brent. I mean, he usually leaves us a lot of fun
should I read
messages,
this?
and I had to censor him this week.
Oh, my God.
Here's the thing. A flashback to Michael Salk. Monday morning after the Mariners had won Game 2.
Well, that's it. It's over. I think it's good. Mariners got this. Yeah, no. I'm feeling pretty good now about the series. Game over. Mariners got this. Really, Salk? Do they got this? Because it doesn't feel like they got this. What the is that fifth inning? Our whole pitching staff just goes out there and the bed, and then our offense decides to go sleep in the filled bed? God!
I don't know how many times I've said over the last week or so that first 4 innings about the players, the last 4 innings are about the players. You got to make decisions in the middle inning.
Yep, and those last 4 weren't very good either.
No, they weren't. No, they weren't. All right, well, let's see what else people have for us, Brock, that's not specifically mad at me for the quote-unquote jinx factor. Here's David.
Here's the thing. Brock, me and my wife saw you out and about this last week. She wanted to come over and say hi, but I had to warn her. You just had chickpeas, and we can't come within 30 feet of you. So maybe next time.
True.
Wow. Gotta be careful.
You know what? That result yesterday, on top of my Scout Team QB result, you know what that resulted in last night? The worst gas I have ever had.
Oh.
Molly couldn't sleep in the room. Couldn't sleep in the room. I went to bed early thinking if I'm in here without her, maybe I can get it all out and I'll fall asleep and I'll start.
She came in and was like, no.
She came in and was like, whoa. And then
this is why you need a French bulldog.
Bless her heart, she even tried, and then she eventually had to leave and said, you were passing gas last night.
See, you just need a Frenchie. You can always blame the dog.
Really?
It's great. Dog sleeps in bed. Any smell that you don't know who it is. Could be anybody. Dog farts constantly.
Male and female Frenchies both fart the same?
Yeah, I would say Wendell. I mean, Wendell had more common gas.
He was very prodigious.
Yes. But Gertie, she can let her rip. She knows what she's doing. Here's Alex.
Here's the thing. I got something for you guys.
We built this city. We built this city on Brock and Salk. This is former intern of Danny David Moore, Alex Larson, coming to you live from the 253. You're listening to Brock and Salk on the Seattle Sports app, 97.3 FM, and all those pesky podcast platforms. Say you like sports, yeah, or recognize the games. Say you don't care who wins. Well, that's a shame. Knee deep in the madness that is Seattle sports. Too many close games keeping me up at night. Oh, I'm running out of time. Brock Heward spanks badunkadunks. Listen to the radio. That's all I got.
All right, thank you. I'm glad we got that last part in.
More like slaps. More like a slap.
More slaps.
Badunkadunks.
Okay.
Yeah, then spank.
I would have just said mispronounces, but whatever. Here's Steve.
Hey, what's up? It's Steve. Here's the thing. A Mariners-Brewers World Series would be the best matchup that literally no one would watch.
Well, go get mad at Steve for jinxing the Mariners instead of me.
Could we play it at the old field they had before the Brewers left town?
Yeah.
Just bulldoze what's ever there and build a little park?
Doesn't seem likely.
No.
So here's the thing. Watching the Mariners, Game 1, FS1, listen to the national broadcast? No. After one inning, put that on mute, get on my Seattle Sports app, put the radio broadcast on, listen to Riz, Gary Hill, Goldie. Game's so much better. Synced it up to the TV. Perfect.
Let me ask a question. Is there a more time-honored tradition in sports than every fan thinking that the national announcers hate their team?
Well, I think it's much more common in baseball because you build over 6
as Lyle
months
said.
such a connection to your hometown.
Right.
guys.
You can't feel it as much during football because every game is done nationally.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
But no, Lyle made that point yesterday in Trash Takes. He's absolutely right. It's a really good point. You get used to a broadcast told from the home perspective, and then all of a sudden you have to listen to it from a neutral perspective.
It was always cute doing those preseason Seahawks games in Menifee, and they put it on NFL Network, and I would get that whole barrage of "You're such a homer." Well, I'm actually doing the Seahawks broadcast.
I am literally that. Yes. And this is sort of the inverse of that, where it's like, no, I don't think AJ or Adam give a hoot who wins the series. They're just talking about both teams, and it's absolutely understandable why you get irritated when they talk about the other one. Here is Taylor.
So here's the thing. This is Soft Taylor from Snohomish. I am very fortunate to have a friend that could get me into the Seahawk practice facility. There's two things that really stood out. One, I got to meet Big Cat. I've never been so physically intimidated by a man in my life. I feel like he could have turned me into a pretzel in a second if he wanted to. And I know it's 2 weeks late, Salk, but I got to do your homework to talk about Big Cat to Big Cat, which was pretty cool.
That's kind of cool.
Second, Derek Hall's short shorts. It's one thing to see him, in the stands on the practice field, but it's another thing to see him up close and personal.
True.
Yeah. Let's just say, in the famous words of Haley Heward, it's so inappropriate. So inappropriate.
I'm glad he got a chance to see that himself, because it is true.
What a great call, Taylor.
Yeah.
Good job.
What's up, Soft Taylor? We got two more. Here's Ethan.
Brock and Mora hating on Mad Max Fury Road might be the most blasphemous thing said on that radio station.
I would agree. Yeah, it's really.
I think
really
I was
dumb.
hating. Brock just hasn't seen it.
Yeah, but Brock won't like it, and then he'll hate on it, and that'll also be annoying.
Brock, do you like movies with plots? Because this doesn't have one. Just action, all action.
Brock, do you like action movies that are visually stunning and have some of the most incredible chase scenes ever put into movies? You probably do, but you won't be able to get past the post-apocalyptic thing, so it doesn't matter. Here's Danny to finish it up.
Here's the thing. It is roughly about 9:30 in the morning, and I'm having my favorite breakfast, which is peanut butter, waffle, and syrup. The best breakfast in the world. And it got me thinking, I wonder what your guys' favorite breakfast is. So I'm just going to go through your guys' entire list. Salk, I think your favorite breakfast is Dungeness crab, eggs Benedict with extra hollandaise. Brock, you like just straight up white bread, not toasted, with a side of oatmeal. Maura, you like smoothies with Greek yogurt. And Lyle, your favorite breakfast is Cinnamon Toast Crunch or Lucky Charms. Was that pretty close? Did I get it?
Lyle, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Lucky Charms, how do we feel? Or just peanut butter and jelly for breakfast?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is pretty good.
I had a feeling that was going to be up your alley. Maura, a nice avocado smoothie maybe?
I mean, I do have a Greek yogurt smoothie with protein powder
There we
in
go.
front of me right now, but if I'm like making or having breakfast, I want something better than that.
Okay.
I like a good like avocado toast with some spicy, chili crisp or something.
And I think we all know that Brock is definitely a white bread untoasted. I mean, that's obvious.
No. Oatmeal.
Oatmeal's the worst, man. Oatmeal, honestly, oatmeal might be the most disgusting food. I hate
Oatmeal
it.
tastes like
It's so nasty. Yes.
When you puke stuff up and you get chunks, that's what oatmeal is.
Oh, my God. And then someone's serving you a bowl of it. Here, we'll put a little cinnamon sugar on your vomit. Disgusting. Look, I do like eggs Benny, but let's be clear. You just cannot beat 2 eggs over easy, toast, hash browns or home fries, and 2 pieces of bacon.
Love hash browns.
Like, you just can't beat that. Just the all-American.
What did we get at 13 coins, Salt?
The Joe's, Hungarian Joe.
The Hungarian
Ukrainian Joe.
Ukrainian
Joe.
Joe.
Oh,
Danny,
well,
it's a Ukrainian Joe, and that's it.
and it's not to be confused with the Immortan Joe, which, of course, neither of you guys get because it's from Mad Max Fury Road. We'll be back with everything you need to know next on Brock and Salk.
Yesterday marked 30 years since the greatest moment in Mariners franchise history.
Swung on the line down the left field line for a base hit.
That was in Game 5, just like the one coming up tomorrow at T-Mobile. Don't miss the next great Mariners moment, the one we'll be talking about 30 years from now. Where will you be listening for the next?
And the fans are going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
First pitch tomorrow at 5:08.
Hey, Brock Ewart here, and I had a couple injuries through my football playing days. I've got a few more as I'm trying to be a scout team quarterback and run around at 50. But you know what? You don't have to be a pro athlete or run around as a scout team QB to know what pain's about. Painful joints. I know many of you are listening to my voice this morning. Painful joints from arthritis can affect you and make it hard to do pretty much anything. Well, that is where my friend, Dr. Daniel Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine in Kirkland, that's where he's ready for your call. 425-823-4000. He has seen so many patients suffering from chronic joint pain through the years that really does affect their quality of life. Consider Dr. Nelson the only doctor as well with over 30 years of experience. That's right, over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques. Many have jumped aboard the regenerative medicine train lately. Not Dr. Nelson. This has been his heart and his passion for over 30 years. So whether it's stem cell therapy, a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells and platelet-rich plasma, or so many more techniques, he's got them all and the experience to back it up. 425-823-4000. 425-823-4000. Or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
If you've been in a wreck or a fender bender,
you
You have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility, not just where your insurance company tells you to go. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. With over 25 years of auto repair work, they'll exceed your expectations.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
At Accurate Auto Body, all their work is performed by certified technicians, only using OEM parts to guarantee the safety of you and your family. For the best in auto body collision repair and customer service, give them a call at 425-883-2450 or AccurateAutoBodyWA.com. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
we meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
At O'Neill Plumbing, we don't just promise to get the job done, we back it up. No travel charge, no show-up fee, no overinflated pricing, and no out-of-town owners. Just clean, fast, and professional each and every day. O'Neill Plumbing.
Your home for baseball's postseason and your American League West champion Mariners. Seattle Sports.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
IRG Physical and Hand Therapy doesn't just treat injuries, they elevate athletes. From weekend warriors to elite competitors, IRG Sports Institute clinics are built for performance, blending top-tier physical therapy with advanced sports science and personalized training plans. Hey, Brock Hewitt here with Shannon O'Kelly, physical therapist and owner of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Why? Why elevate athletes as well?
Because here at IRG, Brock, our motto is we want you to be your best self, your best physical self, your best mental self, and your best community self. At our new IRG Fremont Sports Institute, we're providing that type of care. We've got the latest equipment, the greatest techniques, the providers there that are excited to get you better, basically bigger, faster, stronger. Doesn't matter if you're a weekend warrior, a recreational athlete, an elite athlete, we will make you to be your best.
You'll work with specialists who understand the grind because they've been there. With access to cutting-edge equipment and recovery techniques, you won't just heal, you'll come back stronger. Visit IRGPT.com, IRGPT.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Yeah, rough one yesterday. I would argue the most frustrating loss of the year for the Mariners is everything was right in front of them, and you could smell that ALDS championship heading out to the ALCS on Sunday. If you win that game, and unfortunately the 3-0 lead just completely slips away in the 5th into the 6th. It just felt like it was one thing after another, after another, after another.
Here's the pitch. Swinging a line drive. Fair ball just inside the line. In left field for a base hit. Dingler rounds third and scores. Jones is into second base. Blink your eyes. It's a one-run game. Jemai Jones, a pinch hit, run-scoring double, and the Mariners' lead is cut into further. It's 3-2 Mariners in the 5th inning.
Yeah, obviously got even worse from there. Problems for Spire and Bizzardo and Vargas. It just was not a good day after those first 4 innings. Now, so there'll be a Game 5 in Seattle Friday night, and if there's one thing you can say about this team, it's that they know how to bounce back. Their unofficial captain sure knows it.
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of resiliency in this club, and I have confidence in the guys that we're going to go out and play good baseball. We know it's going to be tough, but we're up for the challenge, and that's what you have to do this time of year. You have to face good pitching, you face good teams, and there's going to be challenges and bumps in the road, and we're up for it for Friday. Yeah.
4th time around the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Advantage to the pitcher or to the lineup?
I mean, in theory, it should be to the lineup, but when it's Tarek Skubal, I don't know. I mean, does that change it a little bit?
I don't know. I mean, you've seen his stuff over and over and over. And I think there's some that he's going to absolutely blow away, which he's done in the previous 3. There's some that have gotten to him. Polanco got to him. So, yeah, I mean, it's the fascinating thing about baseball. You would think it's the Cy Young Award winner, right? You would think by the 4th time, it's going to finally be his charm. On the other side of it, baseball will tell you through the years, you see a guy enough, the intimidation factor goes down. Now it's whether or not you can hit 99 if he's locating it or his splitter and get the big hit that they've gotten the 3 other times they faced him.
100% agree on that. And then who's going to face him and how many runs do they give up? Still don't know. Will it be George Kirby with an extra day of rest? Will it be Luis Castillo on regular rest? We'll maybe find out more later today.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Well, regardless of who wins the game, though, we'll go to Toronto on Sunday to start the ALCS. Vlad has just been out of control, Brock, in that series. They buried the Yankees 9 of 17 with 9 driven in and 3 home runs. He had one of the runs driven in yesterday.
Pokes it down the line. It's a fair ball, and on a 2-strike pitch, Guerrero serves it into the corner. 1-0 Blue Jays. 4 games, 4 times Vlad Jr. has made an impact. His 9th run batted in.
It hits in every game. He had RBI in every game. I mean, just unbelievable. Tore them apart. And then afterwards, he jumped on the Fox postgame show with David Ortiz, and they decided to have some fun with Alex Rodriguez and Derek Jeter.
Dale, the Yankee lose. The Yankee lose. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Hey, let's do it again. The Yankees lose. The Yankees lose. Let's go, baby.
But you don't take it personal. I get it.
One more.
Jeter's getting so mad. That's the best part, is how mad Derek Jeter's getting. By the way, if Derek Jeter's name wasn't Derek Jeter, he would not be on that broadcast. He's terrible. He's awful at it. He's Derek Jeter, so he gets to be there. He's terrible.
Almost as awful as his defense his entire career.
Totally true. It's just awful. By the way, this I got to credit my dad for this one, Brock, because we've talked to Adam Amin a couple of times. You know who Adam Amin sounds exactly like if you close your eyes? This is a tremendous compliment to him. Bob Costas.
Oh, interesting.
Close your eyes, watching the game tomorrow night for just a moment, and think Bob Costas. You'd be like, oh my God, I think it's him.
Yeah, I think that.
Like a young Bob, not the old version of Bob, like early A+ best in the business Bob Costas. He sounds a lot like him in a really, I mean, that's a huge compliment to Adam. So,
and by the way, and it's not your fault. You don't watch a lot of Toronto Blue Jays baseball. We didn't see the Blue Jays the last 3-4 months of the season. All that talk about, there's nobody that really the Blue Jays are pretty darn good, man. The Blue Jays lineup, they did all of that without Bichette as well.
I know. Their lineup is good.
They're pretty good.
Pitching staff still in their bullpen. I don't know. They're good. They're definitely good. That series, clearly, I mean, those two teams are both better than Detroit. NL, we'll see what happens today as both teams staved off elimination.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
All right, Seahawks getting ready for, another game on Sunday morning this time. 10 a.m. start. They'll be in Jacksonville. You played some Leonard Williams earlier, Brock, in terms of the tackling. Here he is just on the defensive conversations in general this week.
It wasn't up to our standard, and we all agree that it wasn't up to our standard, so we're just trying to hold each other accountable. Not really point fingers at specific players, but just point fingers at the problem, We feel like we didn't tackle well enough. We feel like we didn't pursue the ball well enough. We see that, offenses are attacking us with screen plays, and that's something that we're going to have to get better at.
Yep, because you're going to see a lot of that same game plan until you stop it. You're going to see it from Liam Cohen and Jacksonville, who came from Tampa Bay with Baker the year before and knows that stuff inside and out. I had read Ernest Jones' PFF grade, Salk, and it was in the 20s.
Yeah.
He was one of the worst defenders for the Seahawks, according to PFF. And yesterday, this happened every week, right? Yesterday, on a Wednesday injury report, we have seen somebody out, not participating, that played the entirety of the game. And maybe part of that problem was fighting through a shoulder injury that kept him off the practice field yesterday. And you want to talk about a very thin position group?
That one.
Your linebacker
That's for
group
sure, yeah.
is real thin.
Derek Hall, Ernest Jones, DeMarcus Lawrence, Julian Love, Devin Witherspoon, Reek Woolen, all absent practice yesterday. Kraken get it going tonight. They'll be at home against the Ducks, and that is everything you need to know, quarter past every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. Hawks Live is back with Bump and Paul Moyer tonight, 7 o'clock at Bellevue Square Center Court. Live broadcast preview of the game against the Jaguars and a visit from Nick Eamon-Wari, Brock, who was at least a partial participant yesterday, should be able to go on Sunday. That's tonight at 7 at Bellevue Square Center Court. Learn more at seattlesports.com/events. How about that? Bump, Moyer, and Nick Eamon-Wari all out there together. All right, coming up, we got takeaways, Brock, which is going to take us through all kinds of different conversations regarding what we saw yesterday, how it affects the future, and where the Mariners can go from here. It's next on Brock and Salk.
Hawks Live. Presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square Center Court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer with this week's guest, Seahawks safety Nick Eamon-Wari.
This should be fun.
Hawks Live. Tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports, on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
All right, luxury waits at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. If you want to book now for an unforgettable experience, yeah, you can do that at snocasino.com. Or if you need somewhere to watch the game tomorrow, later this weekend, there's so much sports going on. Check out the new sports bar there in the hotel. It is phenomenal. Indoor-outdoor deal with 66 TVs, great food, tremendous view, great action, and a ton of stuff you can do in and around that building because, yeah, you'll be watching sports and at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. So go to snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Lowe's knows pros want more. Join My Lowe's Pro Rewards for free to get $20 off your first qualifying purchase of $100 or more just for signing up. Plus, enjoy free standard shipping and more ways to save on your next job. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer valid for new members only. Not valid with any other discount. Free standard shipping not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/pro loyalty for details. Subject to change.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs. You sound very calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Ooma. Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at amazonbusiness.com.
Let's go! You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Seattle Sports has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks Monday Night Football game October 20th. Head to the Seattle Sports app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the Seattle Sports app, the better your odds. Do it every day, October 7th through October 13th. Details and rules at seattlesports.com/win. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. The home of your American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports.
New siding doesn't have to break the bank.
We offer affordable options that add value and protection to your home. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. And while we're at it, ask about our roofing, windows, decking, and gutter services for even more savings. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free siding inspection. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
Hey, it's Tim Hunter, former Seattle radio goofball here with 2 words that aren't funny. Prostate cancer. Get your annual checkup. Keep an eye on that PSA number. And if you hear those 2 words like I did, talk to the folks at Swedish Cyberknife. 5 treatments, minimally invasive and technologically advanced over the other options. If you were a friend and I consider you one, I'd highly recommend Swedish Cyberknife. We are so lucky to have them right here in town. Do your research, but definitely visit swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through October 19th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
This hour is brought to you by Trajan Wealth Management.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Sorry. I'm choking to death there.
People could only pay for the
Would they want to?
Content.
I was just messing with G in the other room. It was making me laugh so hard that I just started choking. I haven't been able to stop. And he's getting so mad. It's hilarious. Firing up G Scott, and it couldn't be easier to do. I don't know. I mean, I know people like to do that to me, but I don't know anyone in the world easier to just get under their skin than G. So sorry about that. G should be in tomorrow this time at 8:30. He's very adamant that we not go 2 weeks without giving the people what they want. So we'll try to do that tomorrow. It does sound like AJ Przinsky's maybe going to join us as well.
At 8.
At 8.
Confirmed.
Okay, so
yes.
we'll figure out what that looks like tomorrow as well. So it should be a power-packed 8 o'clock hour with G. Scott and AJ Przinsky. Maybe we should let them talk to each other. Before we do any of that, though, Brock, let's give you some takeaways.
Takeaways.
All right, we'll do about 15 minutes of takeaways. Okay. And then more
tidbits or takeaways?
Both?
Probably more takeaways after that one yesterday.
Maybe a little both?
Yes.
Somewhere in between. And then more is going to make us play a fun game that I think everyone will enjoy. We've only done it a couple of times, but it's pretty fun. All right, lost in the whole Bryce Miller debate in the 5th, and we can come back to that, is how unbelievably good he looked for the first 3 innings. When Bryce Miller hits 97 like that, and maybe it was a little playoff boost, maybe there's still something going on with the elbow that is preventing him from being able to do that longer than just a couple of innings at a time. I don't know what it is, but the Bryce Miller throwing 97 is nasty. It is real fun.
Yes, it is. With a little slider and that little splitter that created a bunch of bad swings and soft contact as well. Now, Lyle told us, is Lyle alive, by the way?
Barely.
He's barely? Okay. Lyle told us and indicated that Baseball Savant did not see the dip in his velo. So was the television wrong yesterday? Because the television very clearly had him at 97. Even asked A.J. Hinch in the game about it, and he said, "Woof, yeah, he's got a little playoff pop today."
And then in the
5th inning,
4th and 5th, it dropped.
Yeah, it was very clearly in the 5th inning at 95. It never touched 97 again.
95. Yeah, I mean, like it looked like a significant drop.
Was the television wrong according to Baseball Savant, Lyle? Did you double check those numbers for me?
It did drop a little.
Okay. It did drop a little.
Yeah, it sure.
And for him, that matters. And for him, that matters. And I'm gonna guess that after this season, they got to go in and get that loose body out of his elbow.
Sure seems that way. And again, that's going to lead me back to why he was in there too long yesterday. But Dan is right. Bryce was throwing great to start.
He was throwing the ball well. I thought, used his fastball extremely well, had good life to it. Thought he threw some good splits. It was a really good pitch for him. Kind of able to neutralize the lefties as he went through. He was working quickly. Was pretty efficient getting through that lineup there, they were able to get a couple guys on. Just felt like the right time to go get Gabe and be ready for that. That left-handed pocket coming up.
It's so interesting that the defense there is of taking him out too early. I really feel he was left in too long.
That's what most of your Twitter audience, right?
I know.
I retweeted your poll.
I know. Yeah, it's like 60% almost.
Let me see.
55%.
Let me put my glasses on.
Please
and see where we're at right now with your poll this morning that says, another quick morning poll. The Mariners took Bryce Miller out of yesterday's game too early, right on time, too late. 56% say too early. Should have let him continue.
Unbelievable to me. Huh? That is. Well, let me give you observation number 2 then. Because it's easy to vote on that poll without this information. Miller's OPS by time through the lineup this year. Time 1, 682. Tremendous. Time 2, 923. Horrific. End of conversation.
Except
by the way,
for
the velo
time
was
2,
down.
he got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 out.
Yeah, but he didn't do it in any sort of clean way. He got a little lucky on a smashed ground ball down the first baseline that luckily went right. I know it's baseball, but that's why you use your eyes in addition. So, like, which part do you want to use? You want to use the numbers? They're bad in the second time through. You want to use your eyes? He had trouble in the fourth. You want to use your eyes? The velo had dropped 2 to 3 miles an hour. Like, which way you want to use it, Brock, he should have been out of the game at that point.
I mean, I think it was a soft base hit up the middle, and then, yes, a double play, and then a pop-up in the fourth. So he got out of the fourth.
I know he got out of it. That's why you've got to use your eyes to see the fact that there was some luck.
One hard hit ball?
That.
I got one hard hit ball.
Look, man, when you can argue with any one of these individual things, you put them all together, I don't even see how it's close, honestly. Right. Like, I just, it's...
Well, you're in the 9%ers.
Good. The 9% of us that are smart.
Oh, great.
The 9% of us that will rule the world, Brock.
Sure.
The 9%, I don't know. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I know we're going to be in the minority, and there's an easy reason why. Because we all saw what happened. The bullpen didn't pitch well. So it's very difficult to come back later and say, oh, you know what they should have done is gone to even more of the bullpen. Right. But they should have.
Yeah. And I think that there is a multitude of voices that goes into making that decision then. I think you lean into Cal, and you said that you never should do that, and I think you absolutely should. He's the MVP of the league. He's the leader of the whole pitching staff. He sees things and feels things that even the guys in the dugout 20 feet away, I don't think feel and see right behind home plate, and I'm going to trust Cal. And then Pete Woodworth and the rest of the crew. Yeah. And, yeah.
I'm going to trust the numbers and the way baseball's being played in the postseason, and for whatever reason, the Mariners are playing a different version of it. I don't understand.
Not really. Not really.
I mean, really? Yes. They're playing a different game. Because in 2 of the 4 games, they haven't done the thing. Really, 3 of the 4 games.
I think
in 3 of the 4 games, they haven't done the thing that every other team is doing. Right?
No, wrong. I don't think every other team is doing that.
What? Every other team is when they're
just plays by the numbers? Just plays by all of those things?
Every other team is not allowing their pitchers, other than the absolute studs, to get deep into games. The moment there's problems, they pull them.
4 1/3 is deep into a game. I don't think 4 2/3 is in the postseason. Deep into a game.
It is in the postseason.
All right.
It is in the postseason. You're seeing guys lifted after 2 1/3 good innings. Aaron Nola pitched 2 yesterday, and it was off to Ranger Suarez. We had Dylan Cease pitch 2 1/3, and see, like, those guys were pitching well, and they get taken out.
I think some of the challenge therein is a little deeper. I don't think your bullpen is those bullpens. Well, I don't think you're anywhere near the San Diego airport.
Then that leads me to the next one.
All right.
Takeaways.
All right, not having Brian will really hurt them and has hurt them in the series. There's no doubt about it. But it doesn't hurt them only because he's not pitching in the starting rotation. It hurts them because it forces Miller into the rotation as well when you were counting on him or hoping that he was going to be a part of the pen in the postseason, right? Then you end up with two guys on your roster in Emerson Hancock and Luke Jackson that for whatever reason there's no trust in. And I'm not saying there should be, but Jackson has had the one inning of mop-up duty. Hancock hasn't pitched. You essentially have two roster spots with guys you don't trust. Well, they're taking up 2 of the 8 spots you have in the pen. You don't really want to go to Ferguson or Vargas if you can help it. Now you're down to, 4 guys?
That's right. So if you want to play the game that way,
that's tough.
And you want to play it like the other teams are playing it, like Toronto or the Padres, or like you don't have what they've got in the bullpen, the Philly.
But then I don't know that. I don't know whether you have that or not. I mean, Emerson Hancock was pretty darn good for you throughout the year. They don't seem to want to use him. That is the best argument, Brock, against not going to some of these guys early. In my view, I still think yesterday was the day to do it, and that's where you use your extra starting pitcher the way the Phillies did yesterday, right? They ended up going to Ranger Suarez in that spot, and it absolutely worked out for them. But, yeah, it's been a tough ask. You're down to 4 guys.
I think they're all great, healthy debates. To say, any sort of definitive, this is how everybody else would do it or is doing it, I think is, just to me, in my opinion, misguided. Because you're trusting your best people. That's what's got him to this point. Is that Dan puts an awful lot of trust in his people to do.
But Bryce Miller Brock, Bryce Miller's not been that.
And they pulled him with what should have been first and second with one out.
They pulled him 4 batters too late.
Okay, and that's your opinion on that.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Randy lets the ball get by him for a double, and Torkelson hits one off the end of the bat for a little blooper, and
Brock, you're the one always telling me hey, get outs, get strikeouts. That's strikeouts are the thing there.
Sure. But there's no guarantee either that you bring, that's the other thing.
Thing about a guarantee. Do I ever say there's a guarantee?
No, but you say play the numbers and play the odds, and he's playing his numbers and his odds.
He's not playing his numbers and his odds. That's not what the numbers say.
Okay.
The numbers are very clearly against that. That's what I don't understand.
Against Miller starting the 5th inning there. The numbers are very clearly against that. Facing 6, 7, and 8 in the lineup. They're very clearly against it.
I wouldn't have done it.
Mowed through the first.
I would not have done it. But if you do, fine. I can understand starting it. But we even talked about it yesterday. This isn't second guessing later. This is literally the conversation yesterday morning. Start Bryce Miller, okay, but do it with the ultimate quick hook. Be ready immediately. It's exactly, by the way, what Adam Wainwright said. You remember Adam Wainwright saying it? Mm-hmm. We asked him, hey, should they... Hold on, let me find it. I said, if you were Dan, would you consider starting George instead of Bryce? And this is what he said.
Well, you definitely do not want to go back. Even though it's your home place, you do not want to go back and face Skubal. You just don't. That's a good question. I would say no. I could see him being hyper-aggressive with his bullpen, even though we've seen a lot of innings covered. Yesterday's start with Gilbert.
Kind of goes on from there, but hyper-aggressive.
Yeah.
This was, I thought, the opposite.
Yeah, and I guess hyper-aggressive would have been, to start the 5th.
Or at least to have somebody ready in case there was trouble. And unfortunately, it didn't go in either of those 2 directions.
All right, my turn.
Can we talk about Josh Naylor?
My turn.
Okay.
You know what else you got to do? You also got to hit. And in 3 or 4 games, Mariners haven't hit. So Julio has a tremendous game in Game 2. He does. He delivers. And then he and Polanco go 0 for 17 with 9 strikeouts. I mean, the teams that have all moved on and advanced, you know what they've done? And we'll see today. And I'm going to guess the Dodgers will hit and they'll advance. And Toronto hit and they advanced. And, Milwaukee hit at home and they're going to probably hit today and advance. You also got to, this lineup that's prodigious and 9 deep has also got to do damage. And when you have opportunities and your bases are loaded and your opponent is on the ropes, you'd sure love to see more than a double play and a pop-up, right? When you get runners on and Cal delivers and it's 3-0 and there's nobody out and the meat of your lineup is coming on to play a little add-on against a bullpen that's been taxed, a manager on the other side that pulled their guy really early and started the bullpen chain, you know what you got to do? You got to add on. just as Naylor said, you got to add on, and you got to go. You got to go finish.
What did the other team do anything to make sure they didn't add on?
Yeah, they went to a bunch of their bullpen arms that pitched a hell of a lot better than your bullpen arms did.
But man, they went to them at the right times.
Oh yeah, he really did. He pulled his guy out and gave Mariners all sorts of life with a single, and a walk,
and then immediately had the next guy up and ready to go to get out of it.
Sure. The guy they got after the game before and should have had an opportunity to get after, and you don't. You roll over and you pop up. Do your jobs. So
it's so funny that you see it that way. I don't see it that way. I don't see that as doing your job. Like, to me, baseball, it's never your job to have gotten a hit.
That's where you and I see the game
differently. It would be great. Like, I want them to get hits, and that's what they're trying to do. But I think you see it almost more like football. Like, well, the guy's there, throw it to him and complete the pass. And I don't think baseball works the same way. Like, yeah, if you are a good passer, you'll complete that pass 80% of the time when the guy is open. If you're a good baseball player, you'll get that hit 30% of the time.
Right.
Like, doing your job means having a good at bat. Whether or not Robles did or not, I'm not sure. I don't know that I could answer that.
He wasn't ready to swing at the first pitch. It was the most horrific swing I think I've ever seen in my life.
And in that case, fine. If you want to say it was a bad swing, you don't like the decision, fine, I'm with you. I can buy that. But not doing your job because you grounded into double play, like, I don't know that I can't agree with that. That one's hard for me.
I got you. And all of a sudden AJ's brilliant because he brings in a second reliever after busting on the first reliever, by the way. Right? The first guy he brought in at that point to be Mr. Brilliant, like all of a sudden he totally busts.
Hilarious that you're now the person saying AJ is not that brilliant, considering the love affair you've had for AJ for like the last few years since you hung out with him.
Pretty smart. I mean, pretty sharp guy. But to think that decision was the right decision to pull Mize wasn't the right decision.
Okay.
Thankfully, the second decision after that ended up being good enough to get the bottom of your order out.
What was Josh Naylor doing at second base?
Was that real?
I don't know. I think the first time was real, and then after that it was made up. But I have no way. I mean, I don't know how I'm supposed to know.
How could he see? So there's no signal behind the plate.
Yeah.
So he's got to just see it solely from the grip or something he thinks he's seen?
Maybe.
Do you think Garver... That's the other side of this. It's hilarious, too. Because just as some quarterbacks...
I mean, Canzone was the beneficiary the first time, right?
Sure.
So when they saw him do the one arm out thing, he then hit that ball for a RBI single, drove in Naylor, and immediately afterwards... Did you read Adam Jude's article about this?
I did.
How Danny Farquhar... Ex-Mariner pitchers on their staff is now the guy who really works with them on making sure they don't tip pitches. He came over to Garver or to Naylor. Immediately in the dugout, and they were laughing.
Yes.
That tells me something was going on.
Something was going on. Now, the other side of that is just like some quarterbacks don't want a lot of information.
Right.
I don't want the whole play. I don't want just give me the play and let me do my thing.
Right.
Do every one of these hitters want to see him out there doing all that?
Well, maybe Garver knew the whole thing was nothing.
Right.
Maybe the second time they're doing nothing, and that's kind of what Trevor May was saying later.
So what I know about Josh Naylor is he would do this for show, just to be annoying. Like, that's it. That's the only really reason, just to get in the guy's head, which if that were the case, mission accomplished, because it was 0-2 and then he walked him. There was a couple like this, the flicks here, this is changeup usually, right? Like this, like flick means changeup. A couple times he did that, a changeup was thrown. And Mitch took swings like he knew a changeup was going. But then there's other times where he was like just going up and down. One time he flapped his arms, the other time he went out. Sometimes he went in. Like, it's almost as if he was giving he's like, I'll give you the location if I can't see the pitch, but if I can see the pitch, I'll give you the pitch. That's what it felt like. Because Holton gets his grip and then turns his glove a little bit sometimes. And on changeup, it's a bigger grip. So you see more hand usually. And I saw it a little bit, when he comes set kind of slowly.
All right, so, I mean, those guys are here's what I ultimately come out of it. They play a different game than we're watching.
Yes.
And that's always been the case, right? That's why I always recommend that book by Jason Kendall, because it Throwback, I think it's called, because he'll really explain that they're playing a different game than we're watching.
So is that dirty pool?
Doesn't seem to be. The Yankees were doing that to Munoz earlier this year. I mean, seems to be the norm in baseball these days.
I mean, you saw the pitcher. Mize glared at him and was pretty pissed at him.
Oh, sure.
The dugout was pretty pissed at him. And
well, you can get mad about it, but
is that like one of the unwritten kind of codes of baseball that's kind of dirty.
I don't know,
pool?
man. I would say if you're playing for AJ Hinch, you really can't get too mad about it. Like I don't bring up the whole cheating thing very often. But I would say if you're playing for AJ Hinch, you probably can't get that mad about whether or not Naylor was given some signs from second base.
So how good was he yesterday, too?
Oh,
I mean, after an 0 for 13 stretch, you know, obviously awaiting the birth of his child, taking PJs from here to there to everywhere, was just a little lost at the plate, and then just absolutely on it. You can play that sound of him again yesterday, too?
Yes. I got
just
a couple
talking
things from him.
Yeah. Because he was, gosh.
Well, do you want to hear him talking
will.
about the hand gestures?
Sure.
What are you trying to do there from a gamesmanship standpoint at that point?
Just help the hitter out.
He's awesome. I love this guy. He's so fun.
You know what he is, too? I've called him the Marshawn Lynch. He is, but he's also like an offensive lineman.
Mm-hmm. He's got that personality.
He does.
Yeah. Yeah, he's funny,
got
man.
kind of a herd. Like, I'm going to protect my herd, and don't even like try to strip me away from my herd.
You know what
which
else
is my
was
team.
kind of similar to that pitch tipping thing? And I thought they did. I think it was Wainwright did a great job of pointing it out on the broadcast. That view they had of Cal dropping his glove
so
to time
good.
the pickoff that worked.
So good.
How cool was that?
So good.
There really are so many things going on a baseball field that you don't know unless you've played it and really know.
Yeah, you think it's such a
that was
simple
so cool.
game. You think it's such a simple game.
And then Wainwright even had a really good point about one of the other relievers. Maybe it was even Finnegan, of talking about how the way he was standing with his wide stance was making it hard for him to throw to first, and maybe was giving, I think it was Randy at the time, a little bit of an extra jump.
It was
I don't know.
Julio.
It was
so
Julio.
were you a little frustrated at that point, too?
He kept popping the ball up?
No, the Polanco's he's up 2-0, and it's very clear. You got a 2-0 count. Let him get to second.
Yep.
He was going to get to second standing up. So don't you take, like Ricky Henderson yelling at Joel Klatt? Like, you get the first two or whatever it is, but let me get my bag and put me in scoring position, right? Like, to me, that was also, now Jorge pulls one and just barely misses a home run, 2-0, and then pops up 2-1. Both situations, Julio's got the bag stolen. Just kind of the little
it was
details.
a little frustrating.
Randy just
let me give you
details.
one last one here.
Takeaways.
Trade-offs. We talk all the time about trade-offs, right? And yesterday we talked about the benefits of having that solid, consistent lineup that the Mariners have had, and it has really worked wonders for them. This is not a criticism. It's just talking about the trade-offs of it. And one of the trade-offs of playing the same guys every day, and you know exactly where they're going to be, is that people get shut out of that, right? One thing that was generally done here in the previous administration was constantly getting guys in so that everybody was always a part of it. And there was some frustration there. I get it. Cal and others seem to have been very frustrated with, hey, you never knew where you're going to be in the order, and things were always changing. And it seems to have really helped them as a whole. If you look at it kind of the utilitarian way, the greatest good for the greatest many, it has absolutely worked for them this year. But one of the consequences or trade-offs of that is for someone like Luke Raley, who maybe fell out of that rotation, it's really hard to get back into it. It's really hard. Some players are wired for it, some aren't. Luke Raley, I threw this number out to you guys yesterday. Luke Raley, as a starting player in his career, has a 771 OPS. Pretty good. Not like, Hall of Famer, but like he's a good player when he starts games. 771 OPS. Luke Raley, as a substitute in his career, 483 OPS.
Yeah.
Not a good player, not a professional.
No. Mm-mm.
And so seeing him in
and
some
he's
of the
won for his last 33 with
brutal.
13 strikeouts.
It's so brutal. And are those two things connected? I can't prove that to you. I don't know.
Right.
But it's a tough spot for him, man. That's really not what he's best at. And unfortunately, that's kind of the role that's there for him right now. So again, that's not a blame thing, just kind of the trade-offs. It's working in general, but God, it did sort of hurt yesterday. And when you end up pinch hitting early for Canzone, which I understood at the time, I don't really have a big problem with it. Again, you want to try to go for the jugular. It would be hypocritical for me to say go for the jugular on the pitching side, not on the hitting side. I didn't really mind that, but it was, comes back to bite you a little bit when you get Luke Raley, the substitute, in there, because that player is not very good, unfortunately.
Nope.
There you go.
Well, we were going to play a game.
No, we got time. We'll do it next. Yeah, we're going to do it next.
I think I can do it.
You can't?
I don't know if I can. I really don't know if I can
okay.
do
Well,
it.
we don't have to.
I mean, I was a drama 101, drama 301. I actually ran into a guy the last time in town that shared. He was like, "Bro, I'm sure you can approach different people, say different things to you, but you and I had drama 101 together." And I was like, "Really?
Wow,
that's 30 years ago.
Okay.
95, fall of 95." And I fancy myself a pretty good actor in those situations. I got A's in both of those classes. We played the game before. Let me try to gird my loins and see if I can do it.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to do it.
All right,
I think
we'll
the people
try.
would like it.
It would be fun if you can do it.
The challenge is just your material is kind of knowing what I know of your material. It makes it kind of difficult.
All right. Well, Brock, you know, if you don't want to step up to the plate, I think we'd all understand. DJ's going to join us at 9:30. We'll be right back. It's Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports on 710 seattlesports.com.
Yesterday marked 30 years since the greatest moment in Mariners franchise history.
Swung on the line down the left field line for a base hit.
That was a Game 5, just like the one coming up tomorrow at T-Mobile. Don't miss the next great Mariners moment, the one we'll be talking about 30 years from now. Where will you be listening for the next?
And the fans are going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
First pitch tomorrow at 5:08.
At Cressy Door, we have the perfect garage door for you. Come visit our brand new garage door and fireplace showroom and let our experts help you find the perfect garage door. Cressy Door.
Out here, days are getting a little cooler, and mornings are starting with a few more layers. It's the season for more time at the grill, more feed for your animals. Heaters burn late into the night, and the woods start calling your name. We appreciate hard-working hands, shared moments, and love for our land. That's why season after season, we're here for your life out here. Tractor Supply.
Tailgate season is on, and Monster Energy flavors are bringing the heat. Crack open the wickedly creamy citrus blast of Orange Dreamsicle, or ride the shockingly smooth wave of Electric Blue. Both packed with real sugar, bold flavor, and that legendary monster kick. This is the energy your game day deserves. So grab your can and unleash the beast.
At O'Neill Plumbing, we've been exclusively plumbers for over 100 years. No corny mascots, no out-of-town owners. Just clean, fast, and professional plumbers out to your home fast. All rooter and all trenchless. O'Neill Plumbing.
Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you, guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, "Buy low, sell high." There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com.
This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacg.com.
Lowe's knows pros want more. Join My Lowe's Pro Rewards for free to get $20 off your first qualifying purchase of $100 or more just for signing up. Plus, enjoy free standard shipping and more ways to save on your next job. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer valid for new members only. Not valid with any other discount. Free standard shipping not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/pro loyalty for details. Subject to change.
It's beautiful outside. I'm trying to take advantage of this weather and get out on the motorcycle as often as I can while the weather is here. And I've heard from a lot of you the same exact thing. I've also heard from you guys about injuries you've sustained in a motorcycle accident. And if you're somebody that's been injured in a motorcycle crash, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. Look, every rider has a story, and for some, it takes an unexpected turn, but you don't have to face it alone. With the Law Tigers, they make sure you get what you deserve when you need it. And in Washington, every motorcycle ride writes its own chapter, from the coastal twists of Highway 101 to the rugged beauty of Stevens Pass. And when the unexpected happens, Law Tigers are ready to ride with you. So again, if you've been hurt in a motorcycle crash, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. They are not just attorneys, they are actual riders who know the road and the risks. Whether you're carving through the Cascade Loop or exploring the scenic routes of Mount St. Helens, Law Tigers are the motorcycle lawyers of Washington. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. The Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Cook Law Office, PLLC, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Baseball's postseason is here. Seattle Sports Playoff coverage is presented by Honey Bucket, 710 KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewert is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
We're going to see you on the interview.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Ewert and Mike Salk.
Hello!
Interesting text messages. There was some frustration with the Dom Canzone or Mitch Garver pinch hitting for Canzone. Harris in Spokane says, I'd much rather give Cole Young a shot. Well, he's not on the roster, so that wasn't going to happen. Rye from Spokane says, why not Rivas in that spot? I don't think you want Rivas DHing at any point because, God forbid, something happens to JP. He's your backup shortstop. He's your backup middle infielder. I don't think they want to move in that direction. So, eventually, I think you could have seen Williamson and might have seen him eventually. But I don't know. I mean, again, I know Garver's frustrating and for good reason. But his numbers against lefties this year are actually pretty good.
Well, he's going to get 3 or 4 bats against Scooball.
Watch him hit the biggest home run of his life against Scooball. I mean, it will be hilarious if Mitch Garver ends up sending this team to the ALCS with a 3-for-4 2-home run day against Derek Scooball tomorrow. Brock, I might laugh until the end of time if that happens.
And you can laugh right in my face.
I will.
Oh,
I'll have
please.
to.
Please.
And by the way, it's not like I've been Mr. Mitch Garver.
I will give you full authority to rub that in my face for it.
Well, we're going to get an opportunity to rub it in each other's face right now because Maura has recreated her favorite game, Trading Places. Maura, how does this work?
I feel like this only works at certain times, but last week at the end of one of our shows, Brock said he could read your mind, and he knew exactly what you were thinking when the callers were calling in.
That's true, he did.
That you wanted things to go differently.
Yeah,
and you admitted
true.
that he did.
He did, yeah.
And there's a little tension today, so I think this is going to be a fun one. I want you guys to answer questions about this Game 5 matchup as each other.
Okay.
We're trading places.
Dan Aykroyd. Who's Dan Aykroyd? Who's Eddie Murphy? Can I?
Yeah.
Can I be the
so I'm
and more in
so
line
I'm
to be
Mike
the tool
Salk.
of Muppets.
So I'm Mike Salk right now.
Yes, and I'm Brock Ewert. Hold on, let me get up.
Oh my gosh, we
Here
can't
I am
see
as
you.
Brock Ewert.
Let me
Like a
sit down
giraffe.
and get real breasty.
Like a
Oh my god! Wow,
Like a
we're starting
giraffe.
with shots already.
All right.
All right, who wants to go first?
Brock.
I'll go first.
All right, so Brock as Salk.
Yeah.
What worries you most about this Game 5 matchup?
Nothing, Maura. Nothing. We have a better team. Are you kidding me? Dirk Diggler out there playing catcher? Who's the fatty Riley Green? When's the last time fatty Riley Green did anything?
No.
He can't hit the ball right now.
Wrong guy.
If you watch Green's at bats, he's horrible. Horrible. Can't touch a lefty. Terrible.
Is
You want me to
that a
go? No. Post hoc, let me just continue, please. These guys are abysmal. They suck. They stink. They're as bad a baseball team in the playoffs as you're ever going to get. They can't hit. Javi Baez? Javi Baez was an all-star? Have you watched him? Have you watched Javi Baez? Have you opened your eyes and seen him swing? He can't hit the ball. And did I mention Dirk Diggler sucks too?
It's not his name.
Bad lineup. Bad lineup.
Dirk Diggler.
Isn't that a Boogie Nights character?
Yes. That's Mark Wahlberg and Boogie Nights, Dirk Diggler. Dylan Dingler. Brock. Dylan.
That's all I got.
That was great.
Right.
It felt like a release. Hopefully we're mending here. All right, Salk.
Yeah. Same
As
question
Brock,
or different
yeah.
question? Oh,
what
same
worries
question?
you most about this matchup?
Well, look. When I'm coaching my team and we are looking at, who we're going to play and who we're not going to play, and I talk to my head coach and, he kind of gives me some advice and he tells great stories. So I go into the basement where I keep some of the 14-year-old boys chained up in case they're not working hard enough. And I try to bring out this one kid, Timmy. You'd love Timmy. He's such a good story. Timmy's he is a great kid. Now, look, God bless him. He tries really hard. He's not necessarily made, for this level. He's certainly not going to play at the next level. His parents want him to. It's a whole thing. But Timmy would tell you that when he goes up against the best, he's got no shot. He's got no shot. And that, unfortunately, is Mitch Garver against Tarek Skubal. So every time the DH spot comes around, I'm a little worried that much like little Timmy, Mitchie's going to be just a little bit outdone, overdone, overexposed.
Wow, this has been fantastic so far.
Why do you make me Tim Hasselbeck? I don't say look and listen.
That's
all
my
right?
bad.
Fix that in
You're
your
right.
acting game.
That's
would
fair.
You please?
You're right. That's. I'll take that criticism. Thank
Lyle,
you.
what do you think? This is your first time with Trading Places.
Yeah, it was pretty good. The first round of it. That was pretty spot on.
So when it comes to Friday, are we talking about causation or correlation? There's very different things. And most of the audience is, I get it. You're not smart. You didn't go to school where I went
Here,
to
I'll
school.
give you your next question, Brock.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. Brock, as Salk, why will the Mariners win tomorrow?
Yeah. Pseudo-parallelodotronomous. And, of course, you don't know what that means. It's the 23-letter, 9th longest adjective in the American dictionary. It's a word that describes something that appears to be going in a different direction from what it is, and that's the Mariners all season long. You want to talk about causation, correlation? Just when you think this team is done, they're not done. They're gonna do something ridiculous. And do I know why? No. Do the numbers tell me why? No. Do the decision behind it tell me why? No. None of it tells me why. It's just the way this team is. It's just baseball. And pseudo-parallelodotronomous.
What is that word? Did you make that up?
Nope, it's the 9th longest word in the English dictionary. Pseudo?
Yeah.
Parallelodromus.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
You're welcome.
All right. Salk.
Yes.
As Brock, why will the Mariners win tomorrow?
Well, that's an easy one, Maura. It's because of the fans. Growing up in Puyallup in my small little double-wide 450-square-foot trailer where my mom could barely afford to put even bread on the table at night, there's one thing I learned. It's the spirit of the people of Seattle. And when Zombie Nation starts playing and I start clapping my big hands, I start letting everybody know.
Come on!
It's moving! Here! We're gonna go! And we're gonna take it! And we're gonna win the first inning! And then we're gonna win the third inning! And then they're gonna win the 7th inning! And then we're gonna go to the ALCS of Toronto and on to LA! Ah!
This exceeded all of my expectations. You guys nailed it.
What? I blacked out. What was that?
You're pretty close. You're pretty close.
Sorry.
The only problem is I don't know if I'm... What was his name? Harold Dean? Howard Dean?
John, what was Dean's first name?
What was his first name?
That poor guy. That poor guy.
That's it. That's all I got.
Howard Dean. Howard Dean, Brock. Yeah,
Yes,
Howard Dean.
That was perfection. Brock, did you know you were referencing a porn star in a movie?
I think I've heard that name.
Okay.
And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House.
That cost the guy the White House. That guy was the front runner to be president until he screamed. And that ended it. That was the end for him. So All right, quick
have
break.
A headache now. So
Quick break. Brock and I need to recover.
So we're getting too old to do that.
That was too much method acting.
You know what? That was playoff level. I'm proud of you guys.
Thank you. All right, quick break. Maybe a cough drop. We'll come back, give you everything you need to know, and then let Daniel Jeremiah talk for the last half hour of the show. It's Brock and Salk, or Salk and Brock on Seattle Sports, or Sports Seattle, 710.
Tomorrow, it all comes down to one win-or-go-home showdown at T-Mobile Park.
Listen to the roar of the crowd again. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out.
I would say we believe in each other and we're ready to fight.
It's a win-or-go-home Game 5 against the Tigers at T-Mobile. Tomorrow, first pitch at 5:08. And there's only one place you can hear the American League West champion Mariners in the playoffs. On Seattle Sports, on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
I had a young woman who was on a new SUV, and she had attachments to her old car because it was her first car, and she had questions because she was doubling her spending budget, and she was very fiscally responsible. It was almost making her sick. And the best path at that point was to, let's stop for the night, and you go home and take a breath. She came back in the morning and bought the car. She was way happier. These are major life accomplishments. You have the ability to afford at this tier. You've secured one of the major needs in your life. You should be feeling a tremendous amount of pride and respect for your accomplishments. I'm just grateful that we get to celebrate it with them, that we get to be part of it in that aspect of it.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Right now, receive up to a $25 O'Reilly gift card after rebate with the purchase of select Superstart batteries at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
When your reputation's on the line, you don't leave anything to chance, especially your primer. Painters trust Kills primers for a smooth start, strong adhesion, and serious stain-blocking power. And now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results, faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
Northwest homeowners, when it comes to your roof, you need a name you can trust. Techline Roofing has proudly served the Seattle area for years, delivering exceptional results and lasting security. Choose Techline Roofing. Your trust is our foundation. Trust Techline.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Heward here for my friends at PCF Construction. It was a couple years ago. We were seeking a complete outdoor living space. Molly wanted a new deck. She wanted to really make our outdoor space pop. And boy, am I glad we called PCF. Why? Because whether it's a very specific project or outdoor living, like an underdeck ceiling, deck, patio cover, railings, PCF has you completely covered. Molly's an interior designer. She knows construction. She knows attention to detail. And PCF, they checked every single box along the way. And right now is the time to make the call. Up to $6,000 off your project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. And you can save an extra $1,500 when you bundle your deck with a patio cover. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or simply call today at 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, pcfgroup.com.
Is your car road trip ready? Don't get stranded. Get to Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. Bucky's has been preparing cars, trucks, and SUVs for safe, worry-free travel for over 50 years. We take care of your car with experience and good old-fashioned customer service. For all your oil changes, brakes, AC charging, and factory maintenance, choose Bucky's. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Visit Bucky's.com. Bucky's, where your car feels right at home.
The playoffs are here, and Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are bringing the heat with a rotation that's built to win. The Gas RAV4, built for every inning of Northwest life. Or go versatile with the hybrid RAV4. The Tacoma, tough, dependable, and always clutch. And now, stepping up, the all-new 2026 Toyota Tundra. Redesigned, powerful, and built for big moments. Whether you're in the north or the south, they've got you covered. Visit ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com and get your championship ride.
O'Brien.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Yeah, up first. I don't know if I'm going to be able to continue to finish this show. My throat is hurting, Brock. Don't ever, ever let me try to imitate Howard Dean on the air again. Don't ever let me imitate Howard Dean on the air.
I was
ever,
really shocked
ever
you
again.
Didn't go connective tissue at any point.
And that's
Neither
on me.
of your monologue.
That is on
That's
me.
all right.
I got a little, you know what? I just got a little wrapped up in the Howard Dean thing.
Yes, that's fine.
I don't know where that came from. I just got excited about Zombie Nation, and the next thing you know, it turned into Howard Dean. I honestly don't even know whether I can continue to operate the rest of the show. My throat's killing me. The Mariners lost. It sucked. They play again tomorrow, and it'll be epic. It's Game 5. It's a winner-take-all. It's here in Seattle. It's a 5 o'clock start. Honestly, man, like I'm ready to start moving on from yesterday and just thinking about the future and this team for everything about it. Every single time and Brock, you said it, as me, but it's true. Every time you want to count them out, they find a way to come back.
Everything's in front of us, and these guys have done this all season long. Where they get in tough situations and they know exactly what to do, and they do fight back and they do bounce back. And I'm not worried about that at all, and no better place to do that than at home. So, I think we just continue to do the things we've been doing and just get back on the right track on Friday.
And there are a bunch of guys due. I mean, they were due in Detroit. They were dormant for a month and a half, and Green delivers yesterday, right? And a bunch of their guys deliver. And it'd be really, really cool if some of your guys that have been a bit dormant, and we have waited. Salk and you have said it, and we have all nodded along because we all love good vibes. We love Gino. He had a single yesterday. He had a walk the game before. But big game Gino. Difference-making Gino. Right? Hit the home run in Detroit. They usually come in bunches, as Wainwright said. Wouldn't it be something if we're waiting on that actual big moment, that game-defining moment? Been waiting for 50-something, like the Gino has that game tomorrow against Tarek Skubal. You know what he's going to get. You know what you're going to see. You're going to see 98, 99. You're going to see it on the inner half. You're going to see a splitter away.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you're getting out of this monster. You've taken advantage of him or beaten him at least three different times. You've beaten him. You haven't really crushed him but once.
Well, nobody crushes him. I mean, like, that would be an outrageous expectation. But can you get to him? Can you scratch out a couple of runs? Can you walk into a couple of home runs? And if you do, then you absolutely can beat them again. Now, who's going to pitch? I think it's probably going to be George Kirby. I think if it were me, I'd start Luis Castillo. But yeah, there's a pretty good case to be made for either one. And just looking at the numbers days-wise, just in terms of the calendar, there's absolutely room for both of those guys to pitch in this game. Dan, not surprisingly, and I don't blame him, was not like excited to tell everybody what they were going to do. So we'll find out hopefully later today.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Try it, man. I wish
it's
I
still
wish
not
my
as bad
voice
as Lyles 4 days later. I mean,
I wish my voice had as much resilience as the Mariners. I really do. It's definitely, it sucks. My voice has no resilience at all.
So if you're a mid-40s guy, this
has been the case since my 20s.
Nodes guy. This
has been my case since the 20s. Not the 20s, my 20s. It's just terrible.
You think your smoking had anything to do with it?
No, I had a vocal nodule, and that sort of ended up destroying it. It's a whole thing, Brock. Let's not get into the details of it all.
Just been talking.
We'll just let Vlad and David Ortiz talk instead. The Blue Jays won yesterday. They eliminated the Yankees. When I was a kid, there was a host in Boston named Eddie Endelman, who every year on the final Yankee game of the season would host a Yankee elimination party, and I think Vlad and David Ortiz basically channeled that last night on Fox.
Dale, the Yankee lose. The Yankee lose. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Oh, hey, let's do it again. The Yankees lose. The Yankees lose. Let's go, baby.
What's your
You don't take it personal. I get it.
One more. The Yankees lose.
They were singing New York, New York in their clubhouse after the game.
Yeah.
I think Toronto took it personally.
Uh-huh.
What's the most obnoxious thing about Yankee Stadium? Is it the annoying after all the strikeouts? Is it playing New York, New York after they win? Is it the crowd belief that every single fly ball their team hits has a God-given right to be, out of the park for a home run? Is it the roll call? Of all of the obnoxious things about that building, what is the most obnoxious?
I'm glad you just got to it. It's roll call, and it's not close. Yo, Aaron! It's the dumbest thing in all sports.
I don't know.
Lyle.
All those things are pretty dumb.
Lyle.
It's a tough battle there.
How did Simsy handle that loss yesterday?
I don't know.
How'd Boomer handle it?
What was the fallout on Boomer Mora? Did we find out?
I didn't see much.
Wow. He sounded when he said it like he knew he was about to get suspended. Uh-oh.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Seahawks have a tough one on their hands as they head to Jacksonville on Sunday.
And the injury report is...
It's not good. And by the way, that's a Jacksonville team that does not give up a lot of pressure. Mike McDonald explains why.
It's complementary, right? It's similar how we feel like we want to operate on our offense is playing on time. He's making fast decisions. You got to give him a lot of credit for that. The receivers are getting open, and he's throwing the ball on time. He's throwing it accurately, and they're protecting him. So they're doing a good job. They ID stuff really well. They're not in drop-back situations a lot. If they are, sometimes it's on their terms. And in the action game, they complement it well with some of the movements and the screens off it as well. So they're a complementary offense, and they're playing efficiently right now.
Yeah, so in this matchup, Sam Darnold, by the way, been sacked this year 6 times. Trevor Lawrence has been sacked 6 times in 5 games. That is a remarkably awesome number. We talked about that going into the year, right? Yep. That really with Geno and Russell, the last decade plus. We'll get to this with Daniel Jeremiah here in a second when he jumps on too. But that number was always in the 30s, the 40s, sometimes the 50s when it came to end-of-season sack numbers. And for you to be sitting at just about a sack a game is incredibly winning football.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. They going to have anybody to play defense in this game?
Well, that's where the comes in on that injury report. You're looking at 5 difference-making guys, and you felt their absence big time. You felt it. They were able through the first couple games without Spoon or whatever, kind of juggle it. You didn't really feel it because you felt the force of the front. And yeah, against Tampa Bay, Baker had fun. Remember the other 4 quarterbacks? They had a miserable time. Baker had a lot of fun playing those guys. No Derek Hall, no DeMarcus Lawrence, and it was a different kind of rush. There was no complimentary ball, so. Yeah, maybe we'll debate this tomorrow, Salk, of those 5. And I would anticipate a bunch of them don't practice today either. It'll be a Friday deal.
Yeah, he kind of said that. Here was Mike McDonald's.
Yeah, I'd say the timetable is the same from what we said on Monday with D-Law. We'll see how it plays out today. But it's going to go for all three. It's going to go later in the week in terms of like play status and all that.
Yeah, I think D-Law, Julian Love would be the two biggest. I think Woolen being limited yesterday is a really good sign when you're in concussion protocol and you can come back on a Wednesday already and participate in some facets of practice. But I think of those guys, they've lived without Spoon before. It's not ideal. But if Woolen is back, give me DeMarcus Lawrence and give me Julian Love. You really felt their absence on Sunday.
Yeah, I would agree. All right, there you go. That is everything you need to know. Also, Kraken open up tonight. They take on Anaheim at home. DJ, we tried to talk to DJ on Tuesday. We had some weird technical difficulty, so I think we've got it all figured out. And perfect. What a great day to talk to Daniel Jeremiah, separated from a lot of everything else from this week. We'll get ourselves ready for Sunday. We got a lot to discuss. It's coming up on Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com.
Yesterday marked 30 years since the greatest moment in Mariners franchise history.
Swung on and line down the left field line for a base hit.
That was a Game 5, just like the one coming up tomorrow at T-Mobile. Don't miss the next great Mariners moment, the one we'll be talking about 30 years from now. Where will you be listening for the next?
And the fans are going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
First pitch tomorrow at 5:08.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here, and so much fun to watch these games and this time of year and think back about where we were just a few short months ago, and then start thinking about where you could be in just a few short months. That's right. You want to be 25, 35 pounds lighter than you are right now? You could do it by Thanksgiving. All it takes is to give a real quick call and get started with Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. I did that program, lost 25 pounds in just the first month, 35 pounds overall. No pills, no injections, no counting calories, no prepackaged meals, just following a plan, and one that includes eating delicious fresh food that you buy at the grocery store. And yes, a team to help provide encouragement, coaching, and accountability. A couple of months, you could do that, right? Especially when losing 30, 35, 40 pounds is right on the other side. All it takes to get started is a free 15-minute phone call. You can book one today at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today.
Tired of uneven heating, noisy systems, and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings with every system, and every system qualifies for max tax credits. Call the comfort people at homecomfortalliance.com.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through October 19th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Seattle Sports has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks Monday Night Football game October 20th. Head to the Seattle Sports app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the Seattle Sports app, the better your odds. Do it every day, October 7th through October 13th. Details and rules at seattlesports.com/win. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
This is the home of the Seahawks.
Going to let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN.
Seattle Sports.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Hey, it's Tim Hunter, former Seattle radio goofball here with 2 words that aren't funny. Prostate cancer. Get your annual checkup. Keep an eye on that PSA number. And if you hear those 2 words like I did, talk to the folks at Swedish Cyberknife. 5 treatments, minimally invasive and technologically advanced over the other options. If you were a friend, and I consider you one, I'd highly recommend Swedish Cyberknife. We are so lucky to have them right here in town. Do your research, but definitely visit swedish.org/cyberknife prostate.
Dave Wyman here, and we've been fortunate to hear from 2 Swedish Cyberknife patients this year, Andy Ryder and Tim Hunter. Both heard about Cyberknife from our radio ads and completed successful treatment, raving about their experiences. Tim was impressed that treatment only took 5 days. Andy hosted a large international delegation the week after his treatment. If you, a friend, or a family member is diagnosed with prostate cancer, consider treatment with Swedish Cyberknife here in Seattle. Go to swedish.org/cyberknife prostate.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, amidst all of the baseball conversation, a few minutes of football thrown in with Daniel Jeremiah, who joins us now, generally on Tuesdays, but some technical difficulties bumps this to today. Good morning, DJ. How we doing?
I'm doing great. I got to be honest, it wasn't just the technical difficulties. That showed up after I was a few minutes late, as I was literally I got out of the shower, had shaving cream all over my face, and my wife's standing around there, and all of a sudden I go, oh, crap, and I'd start. So now you don't realize how hard it is to get just the shaving cream without the razor off of your face. That was a struggle, but we're back here today, showed up early for work, we're ready to go.
Can you speak life into our baseball community?
Oh, gosh.
How's he going to do that?
Are you kidding me?
Speak life to us, DJ. You are a positive guy. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, a 3-0 lead, going to the 5th inning, chance to close out the Tigers, get to the ALCS for the first time in 25 years, and we fall short. But there's still a Game 5 in front of 47,000 in Tark Scoobel tomorrow night in Seattle. Can you just breathe and speak life into us?
Yeah, the harder it is, the more fun it is. So this is going to set up to be a great memory. And I don't have a lot of great Padre experiences to draw on, but I can tell you that I remember back in the 90s, and I don't know if it was an elimination game, but I remember going on the road to Houston with Randy Johnson and thinking, I think we're throwing Sterling Hitchcock. We've got no chance. And the Padres win that game. Mm-hmm. I can remember the Atlanta Braves and all those dudes that they had, and we were able to get through them in 98 as well with all their, if you stack up their pitchers versus the Padres pitchers, it would go advantage there. So you're going up against one of the elite pitchers. Which is just going to make it all the more fun when you find a way to get to the winner's circle. So enjoy the heck out of it. There's a lot of fan bases that would kill to be in a Game 5, even if it's against Terry Scoobel.
I'm just excited about the Sterling Hitchcock reference, since I have accidentally called Emerson Hancock Sterling Hitchcock like 30 times. So thank you.
He was a good Mariner, too, I believe. Wasn't he a good Mariner?
Did he pitch here, Sterling Hitchcock?
Yeah, he might have. He just kind of a nice feel pitcher, kind of like what Ranger Suarez looked like last night for the Phillies.
He looked pretty good.
Just a true pitcher.
Wow. All right. Well, let's talk football, DJ. Thanks. Thanks for hanging out with us for a little bit. Let's start with Sam Darnold, because he was. I mean, Brock and I have been sort of debating it and talking about it throughout the week. The first 59 minutes of what we saw was, I mean, as good as I can remember. And then we'll get to the last minute. But what are we seeing right now in general with Sam Darnold?
I think he's been awesome, to the point where I think if you did a MVP poll, I think he's in the top 5 at this point in time with what he's done this year. And I was talking to somebody about this on the phone the other day. I said, look, if this is where he is right now in his introduction into this offense, and they've got some young pieces, they've got the nucleus of a good offensive line going forward, it's not out of the realm to think like, okay, maybe a year from now, year 2, with already as good as it looks right now, that he could win an MVP. And that's how I feel about him. And then so the conversation was, has there ever been a draft class where you've had 4 quarterbacks win MVPs? Because you've already got Josh, you've already got Lamar in that class. Baker's probably the front runner right now. As we're only 5 weeks in. And Sam's played good enough to be in that conversation. Worst case, you're going to have 4 quarterbacks in the same draft class with a top 5 MVP finish, if it holds as it looks right now. So I've been very happy with Sam.
Is that sustainable? Is that something you would expect to continue for the next 11 games?
I don't. His thing is interesting because you've got the ardent supporters, but then you've got everybody who's just like they've got all these things saved in their drafts, whether it's text messages or tweets, and just waiting for the first crack, so that they can go, yep, there he is. That's a Sam Darnold moment. That's who Sam Darnold is, and I'm right and you're wrong. And it's the same reason why people were willing to ignore 16 weeks worth of data last year to point out the 2 games at the end of the year. It's, oh, that's really who he is. Or there's enough evidence now. And Brock, you can give me your thoughts, and I'd love to hear it. But like, I'm watching these teams every week and going through tape every week. I don't know, especially with Joe Burrow on the shelf, if anybody's processing as fast as Sam is processing right now, like continually getting to 3 and 4 quickly. I think he's seeing the field really, really well.
Yeah, I think it'd be the only guy with him right there in that regard would be, well, obviously Josh is in his own class, but the guy he played against. You realize, DJ, I think when when the old internet went kaboot and you melted down on us on Tuesday in our 1 minute, I think I teed up the question that Sam and Baker played a game never seen before in NFL history, completing 80+% of their passes, 320+ yards between those 2 guys. Had never been done between 2 different. I mean, what if Sam is doing all of that? How is Baker right now the front runner for the MVP?
Well, I think what Baker's doing, and he's been really, really good late game moments. And if just watching both offenses in that, which were exceptional, and both quarterbacks played exceptionally well. I think where Tampa's offensive line is at right now is really, really impressive. I thought Sam had to navigate a little more trouble than Baker did, but Baker's, I mean, his confidence is sky high. He's extending things, making some things happen when he has to. In previous weeks, you can look at some of the huge plays he's made late in games. And the other thing is, I think, to have a quarterback playing at that level, you have to really, really have trust in your guys. And JSN's been awesome for Sam. And then Ibuka to come in as a rookie and literally be the best player, that he's got at his disposal with what they have there has been pretty incredible. And he's letting it rip. I mean, early. There's just not any question that Ibuka is going to be where he needs to be and letting it rip.
You bring up how he's been at the end of games, and obviously that's a huge part of it. Just looking at the 5 games the Seahawks have played. First game, they lose to San Francisco. Sam has a chance in the final drive. Fumbles. You remember the play where Bosa kind of backed the right tackle into him. Second game, Pittsburgh, they win going away. Third game, New Orleans, they win going away. Fourth game, Arizona. Sam is perfect in the clutch, drives them down the field, and they end up beating Arizona on a tremendous drive by Sam. And then obviously they have the opportunity on Sunday, and you get the pick, which just comes at a spot in the field where the game is almost immediately over. So 1 and 2 in his 3 opportunities in the clutch. How do I balance that in? How do I fold that in to the full picture of who Sam Darnold is right now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be an excuse maker because it is what it is. But I mean, you described it eloquently. I mean, Bosa got chucked into his lap where he doesn't see him, so I don't know. It's hard to fault him on that one. And then, I as we talk about every week, I'm just watching the tape, so I don't see the TV copy. The last one, the pick at the end of the game, did that hit a helmet? It looked like it skipped off of a helmet from the end zone copy.
It did. So here's the other side of it, because I think those are all, I mean, sure, you can always play that game on every pick, on every fumble. But isn't it somewhat on the quarterback to understand the pocket and feel the rush on the first one? He himself said that he needed to change the protection scheme on the one on Sunday against Tampa. I mean, he almost had a pick on the previous drive, right? The ball gets tipped up in the air and nearly was picked in the end zone for a pick six. I don't know. I have so much emphasis on what quarterbacks do at the ends of games that as great as he's been, and he's been phenomenal. I love it. It's really hard for me to jump in with both feet because that's what you get judged on. How do you handle the end-of-game situations?
Yeah, I get that. I don't know. I just when I've watched those games, I've never thought this is someone who looked panicked, who looked like it was too big for him, who looked like he was trying to play outside of himself. I mean, I just didn't get that vibe at all. It almost, to me, feels like you hire a financial advisor who gets you a 30% return in the first 3 quarters, and he loses 1% in the fourth quarter. You go, wow, this financial advisor sucks. I've only made 29% on my money. Like I think on the whole, it's so outweighed everything that that goes beyond what you saw on 2 hand-picked plays.
Bigger surprise that Sam Darnold is in the conversations you're talking about, or the JSN is in the conversations of being the best receiver in the game?
I think coming off of last year with Sam, I could have thought, okay, if this offensive line comes together in Seattle, like I think he could continue to play at a high level. Now he's exceeded that for me. He's played even better than that. But JSN, I don't think, if you told me who were going to be the top 5 to 10 receivers coming back in the National Football League, he wouldn't have been in that thought process for me. And now you look up and you're like, okay, he's like with the way he's played is like a top 3 to 5 guy for, I don't know, anybody would disagree with.
He's got more explosive plays. He's got double-digit 10 explosive plays of 20-plus yards, whereas teams, Jacksonville and one of them, doesn't even have double digits as a team. I mean, he is. We always knew he'd be a great slot guy, right? We talked about him on Ross St. Brown last year, and man, he has been that. But he's also been a downfield threat in ways, DJ, that I would have never anticipated. So how's he doing it?
Yeah, he's winning outside consistently, which has been fun to watch. I'm going back through some of my notes from this last week. Like the stuff, like he might be the best slant route runner in the NFL right now, just with all the different ways that he can win and do it. You see it when guys are off. He's kind of got that AJ, I call it like the AJ Brown, where you'll see him on a slant. He just kind of give you a 2-hand shove, but it's so short and quick that you don't see it, so he can win with physicality there. And then he'll hit you with a 1-step slant, and he's just won immediately. And then he can also show you some savvy where he can lean on you in your stem, get you to widen out, and then cross your face. Like, just that's one route, one example of a guy who can win a lot of different ways. And then we knew, because of his work in the slot previously, how much toughness he had to work in the middle of the field. So I don't know. There's not many guys doing everything that he can do. So it's been very impressive. The other thing is watching that game. The guy who's might be in the conversation or close to him is the rookie. Ibuka has been awesome.
Incredible.
What's going on with Geno Smith?
Oh boy,
they're not very good.
They're not very good.
They're not very good. I don't think they run the ball well. There's nothing efficient about it, and Geno just looks older to me. He looks like there's just some twitch that's not there, and he doesn't look comfortable at all. So, and I mean, he's not throwing to Michael Irvin and Jerry Rice out there, but he still does not look comfortable at all.
He has 9 picks.
I was there for the Charger game and saw him just
9
forcing things, and
DJ,
there's a lot of
DJ. He's thrown the ball to the other team 9 times in 5
Trust
games.
me, there's like the
9.
Here's a real current reference for you, like the Jets and the Sharks. There's the Sam Darnold and there's the Geno fan clubs, and there's not a lot of crossover in those. So It's been a good month for the Darnold camp.
Sorry.
Is this not?
Yeah, exactly.
Just doing a little West Side Story snapping for you. It's a little riff right at the beginning.
I mean, that's why people love this segment. You get shaving stories,
Yep.
West Side Story. I mean, just everybody tunes in for this.
Is this going to end poorly for Pete and Bill?
I don't know that there's a lot of evidence to suggest otherwise.
Yeah,
that's such a bummer. It's such a bummer. I mean, those two guys are such a huge portion, first of all, just of my life, but of anyone our age. I mean, what those two guys did, two of the 5 preeminent coaches of their generation. I don't know who else you'd put in there. Andy Reid would probably be in there, and probably a couple other guys as well, but it's really hard to tell the story of the NFL without those two. And if you go to college, Pete's obviously a big part of it, and then you add in Saban and a few other guys. But to see it end like this, I mean, both of them are just, especially Bill, what's happening in North Carolina is like, it's really sort of hard to fathom.
Yeah, I think they're different. I think that Bill's thing is he went into a completely different sport. It's just apples to oranges, and not just in terms of how the play on the field is and how different it is with offense and hash marks and everything else, but just in terms of recruiting and portal, like all that's such a new world to him, not to mention trying to relate to 18, 19-year-old kids. Like that's not something he has any
careful.
I think he's relating.
Oh, wow.
Depends on the kid. He seems to be relating okay.
Jeez. Wow.
Oh, I mean,
I walked right into that one.
Yeah, I mean, you led a horse to water and then asked it not to drink. I mean, come on, man.
Gracious. Yeah. Oh, man. Don't clip that off. I don't need to get in any trouble.
We don't need to do that.
So that one's different. With Pete, you know, I don't know. It's just not. I don't think it's just not a very full cupboard there. And with his age, it felt like it was like, okay, we need to try and make this happen now. Whereas I think the better approach would have been, where's our windows, as we always talk about. And to me, the window is off into the future. So this is an establishing year. Let's get young. Let's play young guys. It's not really let's try and assemble some veterans and go try and sneak into the playoffs this year. I think that is the wrong approach there. And so that one's kind of awkward. But I will say about those two guys, you know, you talk about the impact that they had, but if you looked at, you know, the impact on the enthusiasm of coaches in, you know, college and the NFL, Pete had a major impact on that. You can see that his fingerprints all over a lot of coaches in both the professional and college ranks. And then Belichick's emphasis, and because I think it was also when we were able to start documenting a lot of this stuff with some of the NFL films things, the situational awareness, obviously the one you're familiar with the Malcolm Butler, like all that situational awareness that Belichick was so good at. I think that has, you know, carried all throughout both the professional and college ranks. So their impact is definitely something that can't be denied, but it's not ending great.
So DJ, you got into the NFL. Your first job was what year?
2003.
2003. When you were as a scout and you're in the NFL and you're in Baltimore and Philly, the organizations you're in, do you remember? I'm trying to remember back as a player in the late 90s, the early 2000s. I was trying to remember, were teams as beat up then as they are now? Do guys miss practice? I was thinking back to my Indy days. I don't remember. We'd have an injury here or there, but 7-8 guys and 5 starters for the Seahawks on defense yesterday missing practice like they did the week before. Chargers, I mean, you've lost guys for the entire season already, some of your very, very best players. Do you remember it being this bad, this beat up, week 5, 6 of a season 20 years ago?
Well, for the 3 organizations I worked for, I would say no on Philly and Baltimore. Cleveland was amazing. I mean, we had Braylon Edwards got hurt running barefoot. So when Dante Stallworth stepped on his heel, so like that was a cursed organization that found interesting ways to get a lot of guys hurt. I think Gary Baxter ruptured like both of his patellas on the same play.
Wow, it's cool that they fixed it though. Now they're in good shape.
Yeah, exactly. No, they've got beyond that. I you know what? I think it's 2 things. I think one of it is the changes in the CBA and how, you know, they've limited what you can do in terms of practices. And I think some of that physicality kind of, I'm not a doctor, but it felt like those guys were calloused a little bit more and handled it a little bit better. And the other thing is, I think some of it is the NBA load management thing, and it's a 17-game season, and I think kids have kind of grown up with that. Whereas, think about, Brock, when you were in college, like, you lost a regular season game, and you might be out of the conference championship. You cost yourself a Rose Bowl. Like, there was such consequences for losing a game in college. And now there's a stinking 12-team playoff. There's, you're people are more concerned about preserving themselves for the next level as well. There's not such an emphasis on whatever you got to do, get the game, that you got to be out there. You got to play each and every week. There's not that same emphasis anymore.
It's almost like, can we get to December in the NFL?
Yeah.
And it feels like it's a war of attrition, and which roster's going to have the most starters in December and obviously into a playoff run. And just, it feels different. Hey,
isn't it in all sports, though? Isn't it in every sport? I mean, I watch the Dodgers.
Yes.
When I'm watching their playoff games, every stat that they put up, like this starting pitcher, he threw 80 innings. Snell threw 60 innings. Like, they didn't even really play half these guys during the regular season.
Load management in the NBA, and I mean, like, that is, we've talked about this a million times on this show. One of the great debates inside of sports, not necessarily for sports radio, is now versus the future. How much do you play for this moment right now versus for the long term? And I mean, nothing does that more than baseball, right? You can't pitch a pitcher 9 innings a day and use your reliever every day. You've got to be thinking about the whole long season. The NBA finally figured it out, and it does seem like the NFL has figured it out. And it's interesting, as they're figuring it out that way, they're going the other way on fourth downs, which somewhat have the same calculus of, like, do I want to play for this second or for 5 minutes from now, right? And so, I don't know. I always see that as one of the big debates in sports.
To get right back to the original question, though, about guys missing time, don't you think if we look at all of these sports where we're talking about this being an issue, the NBA greatly expanded the playoffs. The MLB added a wild card team. The NFL added a wild card team. I think and now we have college football. We've got 12-team playoff. Like, I think it's a direct correlation to them expanding the field. It used to be so much harder to get into the tournament that you would have to play guys. You couldn't miss games, and that's no longer the case.
Yeah, I mean, it's post hoc, non ergo proctor hoc.
Sure.
DJ's not a Latin guy. Don't worry about that, Brock.
I went to Appalachian State. Do you not have a bio on me?
Hey, I do want to get this in. We have seen a bunch of trades. Adam Schefter said there are going to be some marquee trades before the trade deadline. I texted you before the segment. There have already been some, and you're right. They're just kind of secondary stuff. It's not a big swing. How well do you understand the salary cap, DJ? Do you know these contracts and numbers decently well?
I would say I would give myself a C- on that.
Okay, C-. Don't know Latin, hardly know the salary cap.
Yeah, really not a lot of value.
Trey Hendrickson's got his deal ripped up. Trey Hendrickson's got a base salary of $16 million. He's got a restructured bonus of $13 million. So he's got $29 million in cash he's making. I asked this because if we saw with Seattle with no D-Law and no Derek Hall, that game changed. The defense changed quite a bit. If he's due $29 million in cash this year, 16 in base and 13 in that restructured, if you were to trade for him, does that restructured bonus a part of it, or are you trading for the base salary of it?
Oh, that's a good question.
Okay.
Yeah, I think to me it'll be interesting to see what would happen on something like that in terms of the money that's eaten. Are you Cincinnati? If you've already budgeted this money, can you then eat a decent chunk of it and then try and get a better draft pick?
Right.
That doesn't sound like the Cincinnati I know.
No, but I mean, if you're looking towards the future and trying to maximize the Joe Burrow
doesn't sound like
experience,
that. Yeah.
Right.
I think a smart organization would look at it that way and say,
well, that again does not sound like the Cincinnati that I know.
So let's just play this game, because every time I say
really
Trey Hendrickson, Salk starts to salivate like Pavlov's dogs. You probably didn't learn. It was a psychological experiment.
That's Psych 50.
Don't worry about that either. That wasn't
I
Appalachian
do know
State.
that one. Yeah.
You do know that
Ding,
one?
ding, ding. Yeah.
Yep. There we go. So Salk, I mentioned the name, and it's ding, ding, ding. He's all in, whatever, doesn't matter, because there is a need. And I think this defense is different when their front is different. What do you think of Trey Hendrickson? Do you see a Trey Hendrickson move before the trade deadline?
Again, it makes logical sense, especially we'll see what happens over the next few weeks if Joe Flacco can resurrect their season. I have my doubts there. So if this continues down the path that it was on, then I think they'd be crazy not to move him. He's not going to be part of their long-term future there. Right. And they have such an issue along the offensive line and this give you an asset for that going forward from the Cincinnati side of things. And then from the Seattle side of things, yeah, this is, we talk about it at the window. This is a team that's capable of emerging from that conference. So being bold, this is probably a good opportunity to do that.
I got to ask you about Jacksonville and specifically about Trevor Lawrence. Yeah. Would you like me to ask it the tactful way or the way I actually want to ask it?
You can do it the way you want to ask it. I think you're going to do that either way, but
I would have been happy to be tactful. I get it. You've got other, I'm happy to be tactful.
We traded spaces earlier. Let me ask it the way Salk wants to ask it. The tactful way would be to question his football acumen and processing. The way he's going to ask it is Trevor Lawrence dumb?
That's exactly the two ways I would have phrased it.
Thank you.
That's tough. All right. So, we did a show that right after that game, and Rhett Lewis said on the show he thought that was like the Josh Allen type drive for Trevor Lawrence at the end of the game, and I said I didn't see it that way. I saw you saw the delayed game penalty, fall on the ground twice, get up and score, like it, and just even I hate doing this, but like even like you're watching that game on TV and you see the close-ups. He just looked kind of wide-eyed and it looked big, which is so crazy because he played in such big stages in college.
And the nose looked big when he had his finger inside of it. That wasn't ideal either.
It's a tough look. But if you're gonna leave a game with a couple picks, I'd rather have it be your nose. But to me, it looked kind of big.
This has been one for the ages. This has been a good one. This has been
I'm sorry we have to go. I could spend like another 10 minutes on this. DJ, we do have to run. Thank you, as always. It was great to catch up with you, and it was fun to do it on Thursday.
I don't know if there was any value add today, guys.
I don't know. I would disagree.
If he would have eaten a booger, would he ever have been able to perform again?
Sark is still coaching?
We'll talk about that next week.
All right. Yeah, DJ, we'll talk about that. In fact, we'll lead with that next week. Thank you. Talk to you next week.
That was a wild ride right there.
Yeah, sure was. For the record, Sark still coaching. Still coaching after that. All right, we got to get out of here right away. Bump and Stacy coming up. They got the huddle as well. We will see you guys tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. And until then, the hay. Yeah, it's in the barn. See you, everybody.
Get to the chopper!
Hawks Live.
Touchdown!
Presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square's center court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer with this week's guest, Seahawks safety Nick Eamon-Wari.
This should be fun.
Hawks Live. Tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports, on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done, with precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way, with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
and get ready for the workday.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at PCF Construction. You know, it was a couple years ago. We were seeking a complete outdoor living space. Molly wanted a new deck. She wanted to really make our outdoor space pop. And boy, am I glad we called PCF. Why? Because whether it's a very specific project or outdoor living, like an underdeck ceiling, deck, patio cover, railings, PCF has you completely covered. You know, Molly's an interior designer. She knows construction. She knows attention to detail. And PCF, they checked every single box along the way. And right now is the time to make the call. Up to $6,000 off your project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. And you can save an extra $1,500 when you bundle your deck with a patio cover. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or simply call today at 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, PCFgroup.com.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now the company's changed, or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Dave Wyman here, and after 20 years of living in our home, our window seals started breaking. That's when